Happy Friday, everybody. How's everyone doing out there? I hope you guys are enjoying your week during the never-ending quarantine as we know it. You know, last night we were all here together. We had a very special episode of the watch-alongs on the PJ Campbell Network. We had, of all people, John Kaiser in-house. We had Tim Franco in-house. We ended up talking about Big Trouble in Little China, so I hope you guys will go back and watch that. I am your host, PJ Campbell. It's good to see everyone. I hope you guys are all doing well out there. We are very excited tonight because after that whole mix-up with the schedule, we knew that we couldn't leave Friday night empty. We just couldn't do it. And so I went to my crack team behind the scenes and I said, we need a movie. We need to make sure that we don't leave the Friday night slot open. We need to do something big. We need to do something grand. And one man looked at me and said, we're going to steal the Declaration of Independence. And that was Pat Hogue. How you doing, sir?
It was good. I didn't know it'd be the first one up, but man, do I have clues. Because man, was this bit going to be funny. So funny. Yeah, thank you. Man, but yeah, no. Listen, if there's one person who supports looking for clues and filling in slots on Friday night, it's both me and my best friend Nicolas Cage and my second best friend John Voight. So I'm here to watch some classic Disney fun.
I'm just going to shout out real quick that Kristen Smith says this is a cinematic classic. It's her second favorite Nick Cage movie, but the most important part is her favorite Nick Cage movie is the correct answer, and that is Con Air.
Put the bunny down.
That is correct.
Thank you.
But we are also here with two of our favorite lovely people from Australia. We have Jacob Blunden and we have Taylor Robinson. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Can we just appreciate I've now upgraded to one of his favorite people. I'm now upgraded. I feel so special. I feel so happy. Hi, everybody. I'm now one of PJ's favorites. I'm just going
well, one of you is
the entire show.
Just wait until the first mistake, Jacob.
that he makes many of, as we know.
Guys, we've in this house we've been on a bit of a Nick Cage kick lately.
Yeah.
So I'm actually really, really excited about the way this worked out. It's just falling perfectly in line with what we've already been doing. And this movie is a gosh dang masterpiece.
It's so much fun. So. It is so much fun.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Kristen's making a real push for us to just turn this into Con Air like right now because she keeps talking about it in the chat.
I do own it. I could do that.
Guys,
no, we're not going to. Yeah, we're going to do
I have prepared this jacket to watch this movie, so if you change it now, I don't have enough tank tops to do a Con Air watch along, okay? Or jumpsuits.
Fair enough. We also have in-house the graphics man himself, Chris Clark. Chris, how are you, sir?
I just want cheese. Well, yeah, that's a great way to open. Hi, guys.
This is not a goofy movie.
I know. I just miss all the cheese that's around because I'm hungry. Hi, guys. I love National Treasure. This is one of the best movies ever. If it makes you feel like you want to break into some place and steal something, so that's always a good time.
Yeah. It just kept me doing it.
We talk about this movie a lot, I think, especially like our generation was the perfect age when it came out, and like the Da Vinci Code had come out as a book before it was a movie. Mm-hmm. And we were all kind of really into the idea of doing like the fun treasure hunting type stuff. And this hit like the nice sweet spot at the time, especially Cage right before he like totally goes full rage Cage. And so I think it holds a special place in a lot of our hearts. Taylor, I'm going to start with you. Did you get to see this in theaters? Did you discover this later on like DVD? What was the story with this?
So this one, I definitely don't have a theater memory for. I think I discovered it later. I did that with a lot of movies when I was younger, though. Like I kind of stumbled into them as I got a little bit older, just because I didn't really come from a movie house or anything like that. So it was on me to stumble upon the stealing of the Declaration of Independence. And I gotta say, it's one that I haven't come back to in a long time. I haven't watched it in years, but the fact that I'm still so excited to go back to it, guys, I'm so pumped right now.
It is a masterpiece. Maxwell Haddad in-house calling us high fuckos.
Hey,
so
Max.
Well,
Kristen saying, I just want cheese. Chris Clark 2020.
I like cheese.
Yes, we know you like cheese. Hogue, did you get to see this in theaters, or was this a home video for you as well?
No, this is actually one of the, because it's weird because these movies kind of fall into the category that if I say it's old, a lot of people that are just a little bit older than me go, "Oh, you're a baby. You are a small child who like considers this a classic." And I saw it with my family at Christmas, and it's always one of those ones that we put in rotation whenever we see, Christmas Vacation or anything. It's the family one, and it's a weird movie that kind of like fits into like a bunch of different categories that you don't see nowadays, where it's a kids movie. It gets that adventurous spirit, but like people die, people have guns. Nicolas Cage is a movie star. These are things that you don't see like in a lot of different kind of these weird I should clarify. Nicolas Cage is an action movie star. He did that a lot more in the 80s, which was before my generation, but this was like my introduction to like, I like this guy. He's got a weird energy, and he's in my movie now. So I don't know, like this is going to be the one that I feel like it's going to be really fun to revisit.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with you again, especially that energy that he brings to it. Like, it's very specific Nick Cage, but it's also before he goes full, as I said earlier, like the rage. Yeah. So there's a lot to say about that. Chris Clark, where did you discover this film?
I discovered this film in the theater. I think that's what I remember correctly.
Was there cheese?
There wasn't cheese. No, there was pretzels with cheese that he dipped in. But
heck yeah,
but yeah, it's good. Always get it with cheese, never with mustard. But yeah, from what I remember seeing it, like we went on this elementary school field trip. I think it was an elementary school or middle school, and we went through Philadelphia. It was for a field trip, and at the end, after we went to the Philadelphia Zoo to see the Declaration of Independence,
you went to the zoo to see the Declaration of Independence.
Well, I meant not the Philadelphia Zoo.
It's with the tigers and the lions. It's back there. You can see it.
Independence Hall. After we went to Independence Hall, we went to the movies to see this, and yeah, it was like, oh, we were there. We could have broke into that. That's why we weren't allowed up those stairs. If we went on top of the roof, that would have been where we found that thing that they saw, and they found that thing. So it's like, yeah, and I always thought John Voight, the guy who played John Voight was the guy.
The guy who played John Voight?
No. Okay, I'm a mess right now. I meant. I'm sorry. The guy who plays John Voight. John Voight looks like the guy from Batman Begins who takes over Wayne Enterprises while Wayne is gone.
That's Rutger Hauer.
Yeah, that would be Rutger Hauer, the hobo with a shotgun.
Yeah, Rutger Hauer and John Voight look exactly alike. Yeah, I know they also both look like Jerry Springer, but yeah, and I thought he was the guy from Batman Begins too. I don't know where I was going with this, but yeah, that's what I thought when I saw it. Okay,
I want to see you like just as a kid go to like I went to like to see the Declaration of Independence, but they just had a bunch of like fucking chimpanzees. I didn't get it. It was a disappointing trip in my life.
That was a mess. I'm sorry.
I'm glad that we're not even 10 minutes into this. Is completely already off the rails. Jacob, did you guys get this in Australia? Do they get movies down there?
So I had to look this up because I have a very clear and vivid memory of going to the movies and running into some friends while me, my sister, and my mom all went to the movies. And my friends were like, we're going to go see National Treasure. And I didn't go see National Treasure with them. And I had to look up what possible movie did I go and see instead with my sister.
You went to see another masterpiece.
With my sister and my mom, and to not see National Treasure. Now, I saw National Treasure at home, but the movie that I saw was Ella Enchanted. Dead.
Anne.
Okay.
So
our lovely dear Anne Hathaway.
I mean, I love you, bud, but come on.
Clearly, your sister got to pick the movie that week.
Oh yes, definitely, she got to pick that one.
Real quick, I want to shout out the chat. Everyone's loving the Chris Clark content. Philadelphia Zoo to see the Declaration. OMG. Classic Chris. This is some top-notch Chris content.
No.
Chris, they're loving you right now.
I mean, if the plot for National Treasure 3 is not, we need to break into the Philadelphia Zoo and steal the penguins, I'm going to be severely disappointed. I should also warn people that if they liked my Christopher Walken impression on a Goofy movie, my Nicolas Cage impression is not going to be good on this one. So prepare yourselves.
Well, I think we've prepared the last 10 minutes. I think you guys are going to notice, by the way, I think somewhere along the way, once this is started, Evan Degraff is going to show up. He's going to be late. He was supposed to go buy everybody dinner, and of course, he didn't listen. He was not back here on time. We're all very disappointed in Evan Degraff tonight. But, things happen. I understand.
Yeah, and we will ridicule him and tar and feather and do the appropriate punishments as deemed by the law nowadays.
We will hang him by the thread of his pants. Oh, whoops.
What is that, Chris?
Oh no, it's when I'm watching Netflix on.
Oh, okay. So for those who don't know, if you have a Netflix account, if you don't own the film, you can now currently watch National Treasure on Netflix, and that's where we have it queued up. We have it all queued up at 0 seconds exactly. So what we're going to do is we're going to count down from 5 to 0. As soon as I say go, you're going to hit play with us. One last bit of housekeeping before we really jump into everything. There's also a Streamlabs account. I posted the link earlier in the chat. You can find it also below in the description. Feel free to throw us some shekels tonight if you want to help keep the lights on. It's always helpful for us. So just remember the Streamlab is there, and we appreciate that very much. So with that, is everybody ready to watch National Treasure?
I am.
EJ, let's
second.
feel the Declaration of Independence. Come on.
All right. Well, Jacob said it. We're doing it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
So, PJ, I told you that before we went live, I watched the trailer to this great movie. And I completely forgot Jon Voight is in this movie and that he plays someone named Patrick.
Yep.
And as I like to do on occasion, as somebody who works in the film industry, there's no way to not seem like a douche after coming out of that. So I apologize for the pretentiousness. I worked on a film with Jon Voight in Kentucky for three weeks. So I hopefully will bring up a couple beautiful stories about this man who I talked about National Treasure with. And he loved working on these movies.
That's a nice thing. I really want to shout out Tim Sim, who says he's waiting for the day that it moves to Disney Plus. Talking about National Treasure real quick. It actually is coming at the end of the month. I noticed that today. So it's just waiting for the Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah.
I didn't even realize we're watching this on Netflix and not Disney Plus.
Yeah. Also, shout out to having one of the all-time great actors as like your cold open.
Kevin Spacey?
Oh, dear God. Christopher Plummer.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Same guy, I guess. Fair enough.
But it's funny watching the trailer again. This scene is in the trailer, but it's in a completely different environment. It's in like an apartment living room.
Yeah, I noticed that too. So this was either reshot or Bruckheimer. It's actually funny you bring that up because Bad Boys for Life has the same thing. The whole sequence with them in the car is shown with them driving through a mall, but then in the opening of the film, it's at a beach.
Yeah.
Fair enough. This scene works way better though, like in this environment.
I
remember like seeing this in the trailer, and it just sets the mode for, we're going on an adventure, baby. Like this is, it's such no nonsense like storytelling of, here's a cool premise. We're telling it to you up the front, and then Nicolas Cage, who's one of the only actors who can like convey to you that a grown man would believe in this, like does all this crazy stuff that you imagine as a kid would actually be real.
Can we just talk about too, like this script is actually pretty smart, the way it weaves in and out of using like history, but making it just enough that it's like you can smudge facts to make it seem like this stuff is like real. It's just like the perfect form of escapism entertainment, and I love it for that.
Yes. It's the premise by itself is absurd. It doesn't make sense. They wouldn't hide the treasure and all that. But this movie does something that we didn't talk about in the Onward commentary that Onward does that I think truly helps these films tie together in the adventure sense. And we'll get to it when we get there. But
shout out Maxwell, who says treasure hunt adventure films are the most underrepresented in cinema. I actually do agree with that. Tim Sims says that Plummer gives one of the best opening act setups of any plot, whereas Christopher Plummer is the best choice for this intro. Mike K says Christopher Plummer nails the exposition. Yeah, and this actually goes back to what we talked about last night on Big Trouble in Little China. Like, exposition can be used as a dump done correctly with the right person. And this is one of those times. Like, you're using it the right way.
Well, and it's what Marvel does so well is that they need exposition in every single one of their movies, but they get an actor with gravitas that can just make it sing.
Right.
Like, this story is going to sound dumb by anybody, but if you get Tilda Swinton to do it, it's going to sound pretty cool.
And you're going to buy it. And that's what's brilliant about it. Like, I love when you get a great actor to deliver great exposition.
But he also does the good thing of, like Christopher Plummer strikes that line of, like, somebody that you almost... He sounds like a grandpa. He sounds like somebody that could just be telling a really good story to his grandkid, but also... maybe he believes in this. Like, he's giving enough passion into it that you can understand why if a kid listened to this, no, my grandfather believed in this, so I would too.
Right. Maxwell Haddad says Christopher Plummer has been old for 40 years. Kristen Smith says this is now the Christopher Plummer chat. You know who else has been old for like 40 to 50 years was Leslie Nielsen before he passed away. He was like the same age from the Poseidon Adventure on.
Yeah, he was. He didn't age a day.
I miss Leslie Nielsen. Dude, what if this had been Leslie Nielsen at the opening of this?
Would have been a different tone, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I know.
Would have been epic. I could have used more Qui-Gon.
What? Liam Neeson is not Leslie Nielsen.
Wait.
What did you just say?
Liam Neeson would be good in this role too, though.
Liam Neeson would be, but we're talking about Leslie Nielsen.
I thought that's what you were talking about.
No, Leslie Nielsen, the great.
Oh my god,
guys! Naked Gun. Come
guys, hold on. Do you see?
Is that your dollar
symbols? Mm-hmm. It's in the pyramid. Obviously, we did it. We did it, guys.
We did it. Jessica Morgan says National Treasure 3 needs to be either breaking into NORAD or Area 51. Otherwise, it's not worth my time.
My name. I always get excited when I hear my name in a movie.
Never mind. He doesn't look anything like the guy from Batman Begins.
No,
he doesn't. I mean, I don't know why you thought that was Rutger Hauer.
With this haircut, yes. He doesn't have this haircut in the rest of the movie, so then past this, not as much.
I just would like to welcome back Jacob and Taylor to the chat. Hello.
We had a bit of a meltdown there for a minute, and I missed like the whole first beginning of this movie because our equipment decided it didn't want to work.
Well, it's okay. You guys came back for Chris Clark when he thought that Leslie Nielsen and Liam Neeson were the same person. So,
we could still hear you. Like, we could still hear you. It was just you couldn't see us. So,
and then we were trying to focus on too much that I was listening to you guys talk, but I really couldn't watch what was happening in the movie.
Basically, there's a treasure, and it's national.
God damn! Wow, I wasn't ready for that.
No, it's a deep reveal.
Here's the. That's the Last Crusade shot, by the way, just minus the hat.
The champion. Look at that jacket.
It's good, but it's not. The Last Crusade shot is literally perfect.
I agree,
but it's a good one of Nicolas Cage. He's just the only actor who can sell this of like, you are a grown man, sir. You really believe
are you
this?
saying that we couldn't do this?
PJ, we would have died day one. All right, we'd step off the boat, break our ankles, and drown in a puddle.
You know what, Sean Penn? This might be the only movie that
Sean Bean.
Sean Bean. This might be the only movie he doesn't die.
Oh my god!
Chris is having an absolute gem of the day, and it's amazing.
I'm just saying.
I want in the chat to keep a tally of all these things so we can look back on it at the end of who all these actors are interchanging with.
Yeah,
but if there is a National Treasure movie with Liam Neeson, Sean Penn, who is the other one? Rutger Hauer. I'd watch that movie.
Wow. Just shout out Tim Sim, who says that the main theme for National Treasure is one of the most underrated themes. And Kristen Smith also, can we all please pause for like 2 seconds to admire the gosh dang score? I agree. The score for these movies is incredible.
Who did it?
I could tell you. Give me just a second.
I'm looking it up.
Orson Welles.
Orson Welles.
It sounds very Zimmer. Like it sounds like it sounds very Zimmer-esque, but I'm
Trevor
guessing
Rabin. Trevor
Okay.
Rabin.
We all go silent.
We're like, yeah, that guy.
Yeah, good job.
Good job,
His sidekick
Trevor.
is fun. I know
Justin Bartha.
yeah, when he's in like
Bartha?
The Hangover and all these like little roles, it's fun.
Bartha. Yeah, I like Justin Bartha a lot. I actually miss him, man. Like for a little bit, he was real popular, and he just kind of disappeared, and that was too bad.
He's good at being like Weasley guy that everyone makes fun of.
Yeah, he's the perfect foil for Nicolas Cage in this, like as that just side character.
Yeah.
I appreciate anytime we start talking about trivia about movies, we have people in the chat who go, well, that's going to be a question now in the Schmodown. I mean, partially not wrong, but also I don't necessarily want to give it away that easily.
They did not have to dig that far for buried ship.
a centuries lost buried treasure. They didn't really have. It wasn't that deep.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I was there before them. I just reburied it. I just did a
You did the equivalent of just like you saw your tracks and were just like covered it up like and then ran.
Yep.
Oh no, I see you in the background. Yeah, you're running.
Yeah, see, there I go.
Yeah. But it is that thing of when you're a kid, you dream of that, of digging like a foot into the ground, being like, I found it. Yes.
And this movie is where dreams are made.
Exactly.
This movie is so good, man.
Those jackets look super comfortable.
They really do. Do you think they'd hold cheese, Chris?
I think they'd hold a lot of happiness. My commentary is all over the place. Sorry, guys.
Those jackets are definitely not puffy enough to keep them warm.
Oh god, no! They are. You can see how thin they are. Like they are.
They do not look like human marshmallows waddling around, and therefore
but
they're not warm.
they could also be wearing thermal gear underneath, and thermal can be
Dude,
skin
no.
tight.
Nope.
I'm just saying.
Nope.
I'm also
In
just
the
saying,
snow, it doesn't matter.
when on the movie I worked with John Voight, it was in Kentucky in the middle of winter. He bought the crew thermal gear, and it saved our lives. So I'm just saying, if I'm going to believe in thermal gear in a movie that has John Voight, it'll be this one.
I'm still saying they should have puffier jackets. I'm not digging this aesthetic.
You want them to be like Christmas Story level of like they can't put their arms
I want
down.
it to be literally ridiculous.
That is a classic Chris Clark having a freak out.
God.
Did you get a spooked there, Chris?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot. That's the Jaws thing. That's the like where the head pops out.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
That was beautiful, Chris. I did not expect that.
It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. I love the set design, by the way.
Yeah,
So good, man.
It looks like the ghost ship from James and the Giant Peach.
What a reference. That's a good one.
Yeah. Doesn't it though?
It's been a while since I've seen James and the Giant Peach.
Oh, okay. It's a stop motion animated movie.
Great movie.
Gunpowder.
Why is he eating it?
He's not. What? He's not eating the gunpowder, Chris.
Oh, it looked like he was eating it for a second.
I know you're hungry, but dude.
I don't have food. Intense.
I love how just so simple it is. The captain's hugging this barrel. It must be important.
Yeah.
How convenient.
Like this and like Pirates of the Caribbean are like the two perfect teenage version of adventure movies. This one being a little younger.
Sure.
Yeah.
This does have a corpse in it though, which is kind of dark for a kids movie.
Yeah.
It's more of a family film than a kid's film.
Comparing it to
Pirates?
to Pirates, then yeah. I mean, look, this one's only PG here, so that's.
Well, remember, like, no one really dies in this movie except one dude. I mean, the violence is very minimal in this. Pirates has a lot more action.
Oh yeah, somebody falls down the shaft, right? Is that what you're talking about?
That would be a spoiler alert, Chris.
Oh no, I ignore what I said. People.
I mean,
forget I've said that.
Is it $1 billion pipe?
We've done reckless abandon with spoilers so far.
It's true.
For anybody who's watching, I'm sorry if you haven't seen.
Mike K says only a Jerry Bruckheimer production can afford a set this well crafted. I think that's actually pretty accurate. Like, they do a hell of a job with his movies, man. They always look expensive.
Sean does kind of look like a teenaged what's his name? Rutger Hauer, a little bit.
Are we still on the Rutger Hauer thing? I thought we had gotten past the Rutger Hauer thing.
Maybe he's who I thought Rutger Hauer was. I don't know.
As Nicolas Cage is cutting his thumb, that wasn't in the script. He just started doing that.
Oh my God! The chairman himself, Christian Harloff, has joined the stream. Hello, Christian. We're happy to see you, sir.
I am so sorry.
Oh,
I love that so much.
Classic.
I wonder how much you witnessed.
The classic Disney film where Nicolas Cage reads a skull made of his own blood. It's, PG.
I can't even say that German word that Christian says. The Zaflerfluis. I know it's the SEN reference because it's been going on all week, but I can't say the word. I'm sorry, Christian. I botched it.
It's Zaflerfluis.
You had one job, Pat.
My one job is not to speak German for the Schmodown.
I'm pretty sure it was your one job, but
that is a weird criteria, PJ. I gotta be
I love this scene because of how like his mind just jumps and works in how he acts. Like it actually is a really great way of showing just how smart he is.
You know what it is? And I mean, maybe I'm totally crazy, but it reminds me of Sherlock Holmes in a way. In the way that Sherlock's mind works, that's kind of how he pieces things together, and I like it for that reason.
Yeah. But it is like, again, in a good way, it is the kid version of that. Of like, know, when you're a kid, it is like the tree on the X. The X has to be like the island itself. And an adult would be like, what? But Nicolas Cage can sell the fact of, no, it makes sense. Like, you put the boat in the thing, the boat goes to the decoration, we gotta steal it. And they're like, Nicolas Cage, you're crazy. And then he's right.
We love Justin Bartha in this house.
This is cute.
Cute. Is that
recently? Oh, go ahead, PJ.
I was just like, I heard Chris say it's cute.
Oh, I wasn't talking about the movie. I was talking about something else myself. I forgot my mouth was on. Shit.
I do love him as a henchman. Like, I just think
there's so often than not you can add so much character just by giving those tangential like henchmen and goons just like a little line here and there.
Yeah.
Kristen is saying that I'm apparently not ready for the Majesty. I'm sorry. I can't speak German. I'm sorry.
Zaflertenhausen. It sounds like a very fancy sausage.
Were you the one who typed that just down in the chat?
Oh, yeah, I did.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah.
Guys, this music is majestic.
This whole scene is just... He got to the Declaration of Independence. Like, what
the music, guys. Let's just savor this moment. And then he ruins it.
There was a Masonic temple in my hometown, and I always wanted to like break the floor and dig underneath it, see if I could find something. I regret not doing it.
Did you guys ever like treasure hunt as a kid? You really believed you were going to find something. Did you ever have like that fun side of yourself? Like,
yeah,
believed it?
The closest I got to treasure hunting was picking my nose.
Oh, this is just such a Clark stream right now. This is just, oh, wow.
Chris.
Well, I don't think I can beat that. So.
No, definitely not.
I dug holes in my backyard. My mom yelled at me.
I like the movie Holes. That's great.
It's a great movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is a good book.
Dig it.
It's a good book, too.
And Small
Great
Steps,
book.
the sequel.
Oh, see, this is why Kristen can say what Christian's saying. She took 6 years of German. Bite my ass.
PJ, get off of this. Come on. Just take 4 years of German, and then you'll be almost caught up.
Apparently,
I mean, you have time. I'm sure you could learn 4 years of German in the next year that we're all locked up.
That's probably true, considering I feel like this quarantine's going to last forever.
Wookiees know how to speak every language.
Well, Chris is now running the show. He's also... I'm just kidding, but I'm just kidding.
Did you on his toes?
Wait a second.
Oh, see, and now Kristen's saying I can tell you how to say bite my ass in German.
PJ, back off. You're watching National Treasure, okay?
Okay, can we just talk about how quickly Ian turns on him here, by the way? Like, what movie logic is this where it's like...
I was going to disagree of, like, they actually have a pretty good conversation. The whole killing them, that's a bit extreme.
That's my point.
Like, see, I don't get, like, since... This is so crazy that a movie would have Sean Bean be the bad guy. Like, that's insane. This is like breaking new ground. Never has it been done, and never will it be done again.
I will fight you, Hogue. Yeah, they play poker together.
They have the sacred bond of playing poker together.
I mean, that's like me turning on Jacob because we played Mario Kart together.
It is. Mario Kart is the modern poker bond.
It is. It's true. If you guys want to join our Mario Kart cult, let me know. We've got one of those.
Dude, we lose 4 hours to that game so easily.
If anyone wants to play Mario Kart with me.
No, we're serious, dude. We have a Mario Kart cult right now. So
okay.
If you want to
play. Okay.
Yeah.
That's dangerous words.
We have days at a time that just disappear.
Tim, if you can get GoldenEye on the Switch, and if you can actually figure out how we can legally do that,
Jacob, that's not what he's talking about. He's talking about the reveal that he's the villain.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, good job.
Whoa.
I like that. Nice try, that. Oh, shit.
That gunpowder being there is just so convenient.
Yeah.
Garth McMurray, you're at 20 minutes, right? I don't see the Mario Kart scene. Don't worry. It's coming, Garth. I just realized that character's name is Riley. We should have had Mark Riley on this with us.
His name is...
We're not blowing our load that early.
Well, we did have John Kaiser yesterday.
I like how you say blowing your load and it's a bunch of snow.
Oh, no, it's not. It's Riley Poole. Main character's bang. I'm an idiot.
Why did you say that, Chris?
Why? So this is a fun kids movie. Nicolas Cage, wholesome actor. We all like him. That wooden door will stop it.
Yeah, we'll stop. We'll stop that explosion.
Oh my god!
Did Michael Bay direct this? Because with an explosion like that, it looks like Michael Bay directed this.
What is John Turtletop's next movie?
His last one was The Meg.
Yeah, he's a megalodon.
He also did, what was the Las Vegas? The one.
Yeah, he did Las Vegas.
He did Las Vegas?
Yeah, he did Las Vegas.
He had a weird, he's had a weird, like, last 20 years because he did The Kid with that
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis. Then he did this, then he did the sequel, then he did Sorcerer's Apprentice, Las Vegas, and The Meg.
He did Last Vegas?
I like that we're still stuck on that. Yes, he did Las Vegas. You look so confused.
That movie opened the same day. That movie in Australia, it opened about 3 months later for us than you guys, and it opened the same day as RoboCop.
With Michael Douglas?
Yes, yeah, Michael Douglas, Robert De Niro, Kevin Kline. Who am I missing? There's one more in that movie.
Is it Morgan Freeman?
Yeah, Morgan Freeman.
I'm so distraught.
How are you that short over this?
Mike K says, if we do a watch along for The Thing, will I get Christian Harloff? Will I? I would love to try to. Do I think Christian will ever actually watch The Thing? No, I do not.
No, we will, provided that you guys are able to raise, say, what, $5,000? Maybe?
Yeah, maybe we can pay him. And only if we get a Thing exhibition match when it's all said and done out of it.
Yeah. I love how they call it the J. Edgar Hoover FBI building. Like, not just...
Well, you know.
Yeah.
We also have people who call ATM machines, like, not
That's
just ATM.
Yeah, which I can't. I can't even get started on that.
I'm just throwing that out there. It's
I
a
know.
real thing.
Yes, I'm aware.
Aren't they called ATM machines?
No, Chris, they are ATM. What does the M in ATM stand for?
I thought ATM was just ATM.
I love you, Chris Clark.
Oh, I love
Oh.
you. Oh,
Wait, what?
automatic teller machine.
Oh.
So you're literally calling it ATM machine.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
The lovely Diane Kruger. I love her in this, by the way. She is so fun in this movie. Bill Clay. Apparently, John Turtletop also directed an episode of Zori's Extraordinary Playlist.
Well, he is dead to me. Then, okay, fine.
So Garth coming in hot with the information.
I haven't actually seen that show yet.
No, all I know is that Brandon Hanna, who was supposed to be here tonight and blew us off.
I had a great thumbnail too.
I know. We had a great thumbnail for that. He does a Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist after show, I believe.
Yeah, that explains a lot about his character. You keep referencing all these reliable people. Frank, Brandon, Chris,
Evan.
Evan, who's still
that
was the thumbnail.
The thumbnail for if Brandon was on, by the way.
Yeah, it's
What could have been.
There we go.
Nick Cage has the longest
house, and Brandon apparently blew us off to be on take 3 tonight. Channel. So, we have that going for us.
So basically, the channel wars have started.
Yep, apparently. It's fine. We like everyone at take 3. We're not going to feud over it.
Okay, so real quick about this scene is encapsulating why the movie works, because Nicolas Cage knows how insane he sounds.
The way
just kind of, and just I get it.
And I love Riley's
a map. Yeah.
Yeah, this is where we lost the FBI, which is the best. I love that Kristen doesn't even know that Brandon is apparently on take 3 right now.
This is my favorite moment.
Garth wants to know why we spell watch along the way we do with it spelled out that way. It just looks good on the graphic. That's what we went with. That I wish it was better than that, but no, it just looks cool that way. So we've run with it, and it's like our brand.
I love the look on Riley's face. Like, just don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it.
And that's where we lost the Department of Homeland Security.
Look at his sideburns.
I would personally love to have a whole podcast where I just talk to the people responsible for styling Nick Cage's hair in different movies.
Oh,
because,
yeah.
Wow, guys. As someone who just watched both the Ghost Rider movies, let me tell you, I have some things to say.
That first Ghost Rider movie, he's very fun in it.
Yes. There is so much yeehaw energy in that movie, and I love it.
There really is. All right, guys. This is
Here we go.
Where are the tigers? Guys.
Hey, Chris, this doesn't look like a zoo. I was promised a zoo.
I lied to you guys.
Look at his chest hair.
Could you imagine if Indiana Jones was it belongs in a zoo?
He just points to the dog.
Wow. Chris, that was good.
Yeah.
I love how
redeemed.
Okay, can we just appreciate the way he's delivering this, saying it with the music, how great it is? This whole scene is so good. It could be so cheesy. And is it a little bit? Yes, but it's so done in the right way that it's so sincere, you buy it.
It works for someone who doesn't have American patriotism. from someone who is an outsider, it works. It works very well
because you believe he believes it, and you believe that he believes it for altruistic means, and it's that kind of Nicolas Cage has that reputation.
He's gonna fucking steal it.
Yes, we're here to steal independence.
But like Nick,
Chris.
Oh yeah,
Nick Cage has those two settings of either Cage Rage, like fun Nicolas Cage, or like Academy Award winner Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
and this movie has
so
both.
Fascinating. It's so good.
But that kind of scene is the reason why in a movie like this that is so very easily could have been just given to a nothing no-name actor who could have, like what they tried to do in the 2010s, where they got someone who is clearly could be an A-list star, but they haven't quite gotten the experience or the chops yet to be the lead in a film. And then they put them into this type of movie. Here, they actually put someone who is proven everything, and they're able to deliver that kind of line without it seeming cheesy.
And it's like that's a selling point of imagine Nick Cage has to steal the Declaration of Independence. I'm like, yeah, I'd watch that movie.
Yeah.
All right. So Jessica Morgan says, to be fair, Chris, our local museum is a natural history museum, and it has live animals. My daughter kept calling it a zoo when she was 6.
You know what? That was what I thought too.
So you're 6?
No. She just saved my ass.
I just felt like you just got downgraded to being a small child, but that's okay.
I thought you were there to help him with that one, PJ.
I was, and then I flipped the table. I'm still mad at Chris, by the way.
Oh yeah.
For those who watched Suddenly Soundtracks earlier this week.
Yeah.
That was a great stream.
It was a great stream, and if you guys have not watched it, I really implore you to go back, because the tables turned very quickly and then were turned again. I love this explanation about everything that's going to happen, by the way. Again, perfect exposition dump mixed with great actors and actually some great visual with it.
Or early 2000s visual effects.
Like, this movie changes tone halfway through, where it goes from being a heist film to an adventure film.
Right.
But here is the heist film, and the heist film works so well.
It really does.
And it works because...
This is my favorite joke, by the way. Delicious jams and jellies. Come on. That is a great joke. The preservation room joke is phenomenal. Don't you take your hand off your face like that, Hogue. See, Kristen Smith agrees with me. It is a great joke.
Yeah. I do like, though, how this turns...
I have no words.
This goes from the heist film like Fight Club to Indiana Jones.
It does have some Fight Club vibes. It's a good joke, PJ. Not taking that away.
You're just so mean to me. Mike K also wants Chris to know it's going to take years before we forgive you, apparently, after the other night.
The big 3, when we're not going to spoil, you got to watch it.
That was why I teased it, Chris. I want people to go back and watch it.
Yeah. I'm not into spoilers.
Unless it's about people apparently falling down a shaft.
Well, they don't know what shaft or... You know what I mean?
Chris Clark, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm sorry.
That was a horrible hole.
Horrible.
I mean, to me, that makes it more realistic.
What I find hilarious about this, it is one of the single most secure places on the planet, and he is able to access very easily their remote system, their remote cameras.
It was like the early 2000s. I believe it.
But it is the thing of, these people are the smartest people in their fields. So you almost buy that they know the exact time to go and all that. It's absurd. It's not supposed to be realistic, but they do enough setup of showing now these people are crazy with knowledge. They're fun crazy, so it's like we like them, but they are insane.
It just looks like he has the most recent update of Adobe Premiere.
That's good.
Chris Clark.
I just want to see a whole movie where like Nicolas Cage is a chef and he's eating food.
Chef.
Do you want to? Yeah. Do you want to see him do Jon Favreau's chef?
Yeah, or he's the food critic.
Chef? Oh my god.
See, if he was like a food critic, just yelling about food.
I do love it. That just from the. Oh god, this is ridiculous. It's amazingly ridiculous.
That is my energy on this channel. Riley doing all the hard work while Ben just heats up the enchilada. That is my energy.
And uses Photoshop.
Just brilliant minds deciding that they're going to be doing this, man.
Ew.
Looks like flub.
I don't think that's clever.
It really is.
Yeah.
The little music that's like, oh, they did it. Good job.
I like this score a lot, man. It's just so good. He likes her. He's sending her a coin.
Jesus, Stan.
Yes.
Asshole Stan.
This totally isn't a bomb. Let's open
it. Insane. Wish I could have caught this from the beginning. Love this movie. Just want to drop by and give you some love. Thank you, Chris, for coming and giving us some love. We always like having you, sir.
You're a great guy, and your brother is too.
It's true. They do great content on the YouTubes. You guys should check them out. Yeah, I agree with Kristen. The score really does bring so much energy to the scenes in the film. I really love this score a lot. I think it gets very overlooked in the pantheon of 2000s adventure and action type films.
Okay, he had a laser duct tape to a camera that looked like a bomb.
You need to relax, Hogue. Okay?
I'm just saying, the security of this place needs to...
So Stan's just a bad dude, right? We all just agree?
Yeah, nobody.
Hey, look at him. He's just staring at her
Stan.
ass.
Jesus, what a creep.
He's probably named Stan because he's a Stan.
What if she washed her hands?
He's fucked.
Yeah, like, because like she touched the coin. Sure. Does it last after you wash your hands? That could have been hours later.
This is pre-corona.
I appreciate Garth's comment. Hey, enough questioning the validity.
But that's our job.
We are critics, and my willing suspension of disbelief will not be...
I'm just here to have a silly good time, okay? How about that?
Nah.
No, I must criticize.
We have to question everything.
I need to go back to DC. It's been about 15 years since I've been there, and I'd love to go back and see it now.
Yeah, I definitely need to go back to DC. I was only there a couple of weeks ago. Like, oh god, I need to definitely go back. I've never been.
You a little bit bitter about that fact? Maybe.
Never been to the.
We can go together. Come on.
We should.
We should. That's what I'm
saying. Now that I'm officially not able to go in fucking July, now I have to wait until November.
We'll make it happen.
We will. Okay, this is just a trope that I find annoying with movies in general, with heist movies.
We've never seen you before. Come on in.
Yeah, like we have never seen.
You would recognize people who came in to like do this stuff.
Like, I have never seen you before.
It's a movie.
PJ, you can't both be praising every aspect and then when we criticize something, say it's just a movie, all right?
It's a movie. I'm not questioning literally every heist film ever made.
That being said, I have walked in the back of a lot of offices as like a day player. If you just smile enough, people are like, oh, he's meant to be here.
Yeah, if you look like you're meant to be there, there is a lot half the time. But
Justin Hamilton says, wait, are you guys saying this is fake? I thought this was a documentary.
I mean, every real true American knows this is a documentary.
This is about the time that Nicolas Cage stole the Declaration of Independence.
Also, Kelly Nicole saying, this is the most believable plan I've ever seen. I don't know what you're talking about. Thank you, Kelly, for being sensible. Kristen Smith says a lot of these places hire out people for big events because they don't have enough big staffs. So there's your answer.
I mean,
you got us, guys.
No, I'm going to hold my ground and say it's still a ridiculous trope.
No.
So-
Taylor, National
Nope.
Treasure is the most locked down, completely foolproof.
Nope.
No willing leaps that you
Nope.
have to make sure that the plot works. It's
Nope.
just
Kristen says
steel
she worked backstage at a concert venue, and bands would choose to use their own catering and hire out all the time. So this
PJ.
is not unusual.
It's just a movie. Why are you freaking out about it?
Everyone needs to calm the hell down about my just a movie opinions. If you can't take it, get the hell out.
I need cheese.
Chris just sat up.
Yeah, see, Tim Sims says this is a popcorn flick, Jacob. It doesn't need a lot of thinking.
Oh.
He called you out specifically. Just you.
This guy definitely
So
has
everybody in this chat loves Ocean's 8 then, right? That one also gets a pass because if you guys are going to...
because Ocean's 8 is amazing.
I'm just saying, I get a lot of crap for liking that movie.
I love that movie, so you're fine.
Those glasses
Thank
are
you.
tall.
Also, okay. Yeah, just
Sir, can we arrest this man?
why is he still having this discussion? Because she's obviously going to check and see if he was meant to be here. Just
But I like
run,
how
dude.
he's having fun. He's like, why not?
Garth. Okay, I've had enough. I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence just to prove it can work.
Guys,
Okay,
okay,
so
some
that
alerts
is
on
what we
Twitter of
aspire. That is what
movement
we
in
aspire to
Washington.
do with this watch along. Encourage people to
To
see if
steal.
it's possible.
Yeah. I hope that we do an entire episode of Mythbusters just to prove if we can steal the Declaration of Independence or not. And we're going to do it for this channel. I'm going to get that whole band back together just so we can do it.
Let's do that.
Oh, I thought we should watch Titanic to see if like a boat actually can sink. Like one of the people watching
What
is
a,
going to
wow,
test
what
that
a
theory.
waste of perfectly great whatever alcohol.
and
that
how
was.
is that
I
not
know.
like? Anyway,
You just wasted all that champagne, and I'm a little sad right now.
PJ,
You
it's a
should've
movie.
chugged it.
It
You
goes
should
in the
have just
trash.
chugged it. Just like
Everyone-
chug the whole thing.
Hogue, why are you fighting?
I'm
this right
sorry. I don't mean to be
This
antagonistic,
is
but
like
I
the
want
most
my realism in my.
antagonistic watch along that
Oh, yeah.
I've been on. Like everyone needs to just.
now? We're having the best time.
yeah.
Also, can I say that they gave him the worst facial hair in this movie?
Who Riley?
Riley.
Oh yeah.
He has a cute face, and then they're like, "Nah, we gotta."
So like just hair here, that'll look good and like likable.
You look like a perv. I shouldn't have said
Also,
that.
I have a bone to pick with whoever did his hair.
Sean
Oh.
Bean.
Blonde. Ugh.
All right,
Cool.
Kelly makes a fine point. He needs to stay as sober as possible. He's stealing the Declaration of Independence.
No, you don't want to go into that. I'll argue that you don't want to go into that fully sober because you
I
probably
agree.
freak out.
Yeah, you gotta you gotta.
Got to take
quell
the edge
those
off a
nerves.
little bit.
I do some of my best work drunk.
Ah,
Did I say that out loud?
He tased him in the heart. That could have killed him.
See, look at that.
He's dead.
guys. Look at that hair.
mm.
He had a pacemaker.
Sean Bean is just a bad dude, you guys.
So maybe is that the guy that you were talking about that died?
Chris, just a heads up, you're a little quiet.
I am.
Some things
Yeah.
that I love about going back and watching like heist movies like this is you get to see how the advanced technology was back when they made the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just love doing that, comparing it to like what we have now in high tech movies. It's just so funny to look back on.
It really is. And
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
it really kind of dates a film depending on where the technology is at the time, which is always very interesting as well, because it like seems like a very specific snapshot in time.
It's. I just watched Minority Report for the first time, and that has a lot of like pretty close approximations to like modern technology. But it is funny that they thought we'd still be reading magazines that updated instead of just
Right.
having phones. See,
Garth.
this is cool.
Thank you, Garth, for that. I do some of my best work drunk. PJ Campbell as Christian takes note.
Did he just say Levy?
This would be a great Schmodown question, by the way. What was the password to get into the room of where the Declaration of Independence is?
It would
Yeah,
be.
that wouldn't
Yeah.
cause any
That's
controversy.
a five. That's a 5-pointer.
Just throwing that out there. I don't have that on my computer.
His moment of showboating to Nicolas Cage later is my favorite.
Oh, it absolutely is. We'll get
Yeah.
to that.
Valley Frog, huh, Kristen? Valley Frog is that what we're going with? I think it's a great call.
Sir, you just pointed at the camera that will be used against you in court later. But it was cinematic.
Okay, you just pointed at the camera. So your defense is you didn't know you were trying to steal the Declaration of Independence. However, we have this footage of you directly pointing at the camera.
Like showboating about it? Weird.
Oh, they're losing. They're losing it.
Oh, man, remember those portable DVD players? Anyone have a video now? You would buy individual like episodes of like cartoons, and it would come on like a hockey puck that's like 4 times the natural size and have a screen that big.
I remember those. Yeah, I remember those.
They used to have those on the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
So apparently the chat has decided that they're going to make a band called Valley Frog, and it's going to be a bluegrass band.
You know what? I need it, actually. Immediately, so please do that. And then send me the link.
Okay, that's kind of cool. You literally extend the door frame so you can just push open the door.
He's so surprised.
There's the thumbnail.
Also, really, you're using the Declaration of Independence as your shield?
Yeah, just use your body.
It's bulletproof.
I mean, it's still what happens the one time that it's not bulletproof.
But what else does he do?
He's got the map. He's not.
Do you think they actually tested it to see if it was bulletproof, or they just went, "No, it's bulletproof. I'm sure it's fine."
They had a line earlier. They were like, "Oh, that's got to be so old."
Yeah, that is very old. In fact,
no, I was talking about Nicolas Cage.
I don't know, man. He's got nice hair in this movie.
He's handsome.
He's got yeah. It's the sequel where he looks ridiculous. The sequel, he looks ridiculous.
Which is why, like, give me a third one with him now. I want to see that Nicolas Cage adventure.
If Nick Cage goes full color out of space Nick Cage or Mandy Nick Cage in National Treasure 3, it is automatically the greatest film of all time.
Oh, God, yeah.
Superman Nick Cage.
Superman Nick Cage only existed in behind-the-scenes footage and Teen Titans Go to the Movies.
Also, Into the Spider-Verse.
That is not Superman.
Oh. I thought we were just saying we liked recent Nicolas Cage.
Well, I mean, Spider-Man Noir is amazing, so...
Also Mandy.
I said Mandy.
I didn't listen to you. I just tune you out sometimes, PJ. I'm sorry.
I believe that.
I was so invested in this scene because it's great of him buying the other Declaration of Independence.
Well, and then he actually uses his credit card like an idiot. What was he thinking?
Well, he had to.
I know.
I mean, I think that's one of the most accurate things I've ever seen, where you go, who actually carries cash? Like, no one would have enough cash to, like...
Oh, 100%. I mean, how many of us actually carry cash?
I mean, back then they would have.
Kristen says, what about Mandy? Mandy's great, and we love Mandy at this table.
Still haven't seen it.
I haven't either, but Color Out of Space is like a whole experience.
Dude, Color Out of Space is one of my favorite movies of the year still. It's just so good.
I knew it would be after Jacob and I saw it.
I was like,
this is a Pat movie.
It's 100% a Pat movie. I could watch it on a loop, and I mean, it'd be bad for my head, but it would be fun.
It doesn't have a lot of competition this year anyway.
I've seen like 20 movies. I'll tell you how many I've seen actually right now. What's that one I watched today?
This would also be like a cool set to be on because you're in Washington, D.C. That's neat. Like that's just such a historic city that you just get to explore every day. I went on a field trip there once, and we just went to like 2 places, and it was, oh wow, these are historic in a way that I've never been able to like really appreciate.
I agree. That's what I liked when I was there, like being able to feel that history. That's what I like about the East Coast. In my opinion, the East Coast is way more interesting than anywhere else because the amount of history behind everything there is just so huge to me. And that's why I love it. You can feel it even when you walk around like New York City. You can feel that, love for the most part. So, and that history for it. Yeah.
A history where nothing bad happened and everything was fine.
I do love that he's just like, you let her go. She can be the idiot who gives him back a souvenir.
Bad. Just in case you didn't know. Bad.
What other movie is that guy in? The driver. He's got a face.
Let me find out.
He was in...
He kind of reminds me of Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. If I'm
He
honest.
looks like someone in like one of the Home Alone sequels.
I feel like
Kinda. He's in like a big action movie.
Sorry, Predators.
Predators, that's it. Yes.
Yeah.
He's the Russian.
Is he in Mighty Joe Young?
Might be.
That one I couldn't tell you.
No. He's in Bad Boys 2 as well.
Yeah, he had a good stretch. I like how they're in a restaurant truck.
Yeah. Also, I mean, that feels believable though. Like, again.
Oh no, it's a great detail.
I mean, but okay. I don't know how much she's getting paid, but no job in the world am I ever being like, you know what? Yeah, I'm willing to die over this.
But it is like,
I know.
You get a treasure if you succeed.
No, I'm meaning her, where she doesn't know that, and they're like asking for the document for the declaration, and she's just like, you know what? No, I'm willing to die and not give this over.
But they do a good job of setting up. She is as much of a history nerd as like Nicolas Cage. This guy needs to stop like with his gun love.
He's a stormtrooper.
Sean Bean's a bad guy.
He's a stormtrooper. Is that what you just said, Chris?
Yeah. He's horrible at aiming.
Garth asks if there's a question in the Schmodown about a movie and one of the players is in or produced it. Do the people at the desk choose not to ask it? I don't know if that's ever really been a problem per se.
Sorry, it's not been a problem. They have done it once as a joke, and that was in a celebrity match.
Right. I don't think we've ever really worried too much about that. Because, I mean, Sam Levine has been in studio when Inglourious Bastards questions have been asked, which was a great moment from years ago.
That was spectacular too. It was one that I was at, and
we were actually there.
We were there, and they asked him like, who plays this character, and it was Sam, and he was in studio.
Yeah. Apparently, Tim says no, they'd still ask. Christian said it one time on air. I had no idea about that, so there's our answer. They would still ask. Sean Bean, you got a replica.
Get gift shopped, bitch.
You hungry? Chris, that's you. You hungry?
Wait, what?
You hungry?
Oh, I had barbecue chicken before I got on. You know, the Declaration of Independence in that scene kind of looked like the tongue from Tremors. It had the same kind of texture.
I don't know how to respond to that as a comment.
I mean,
kind of. Yeah, it kind of. From the lighting.
Vaguely.
I'm a little.
I like where your head's at, but
yeah, I'm all over the place tonight. And yeah, the heist movie with the tuxedos is totally a nod to Fight Club.
Wait, is this before or after Fight Club?
Fight Club came out in 1998.
90s?
I think 98, yeah.
Wow.
Because Meatloaf was on tour for the very
What is our timestamp right now?
103.25.
103.25.
Harvey Keitel. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I completely forgot that he was in this.
You know who else forgot he was in this was Chance Ellison in the Schmodown. Thank you, Tim Sim, 5130. You had it backwards.
I love this.
This is like if the wolf like went clean and then got like a political or like a corporate federal job. He's called in to clean up the situation, but now it is of a
How about now?
This scene is such a perfect metaphor for what the American government actually is.
Yeah, 100%.
They have a department that fields tips and this kind of stuff, and then we don't take it seriously, and then it fucking happens, and then we have nothing to go on because we didn't pay any attention.
I love that moment there where it's and no one can steal this. No one can steal it.
You're that family.
What is her accent? Where is she from?
I think she's German.
I think she is too.
Yeah.
But isn't she supposed to? What is she in the movie? Isn't she supposed to be?
She's Saxwell.
Chicago.
Something German. Yeah, I think is what they said in it. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But also, she thinks they're insane, but clearly everything at this point they've told her is true. So at this point, you might as well just give them the benefit of the doubt that there just might be a map too.
Yeah, but they could be just as crazy as the other guys.
Well, that's why I kind of like that when they go, the one smart thing about this is they go back to the house.
Yeah.
They do in the top corner. If it's not there, they were going to give it back.
Well, and it does a good job of, this is a clue hunting movie. The second clue is the declaration, but it takes 40 minutes to get to that point, where you're almost like, is it real? And they build up that moment so much of revealing it is real. Okay, let's keep going. Because you start to lose faith of, maybe he is just crazy and that boat was just a boat. Even on
Saxony German, by the way. Saxony German.
Good poll. Even on security footage, Nicolas Cage just has character. He just grabbed his change and just had a swagger. I'm like, yeah, that's an actor. We're all just too captivated with this movie.
It's just so good. And again, classic Nick Cage in the way he delivers some of these lines.
Rude.
I just love the way he says it. Kind of reminds me of him in Moonstruck. Of all things, that's where I'm seeing a little bit of Nick Cage.
Yeah, Moonstruck with Cher and Vincent Gardenia.
Very good. You actually know that?
Yeah, I know. Vincent Gardenia, the guy who plays Mr. Mushnick in Little Shop. That's why.
Yeah, I know. It's a great movie, though.
Oh, really what a poll.
Oh, God, he's joined.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
No.
Hello,
Degraff.
Can we get him out of here?
I heard that we're stealing the Declaration of Independence.
We've already stolen it. We're an hour late.
I might swing by and help the heist.
Yeah, you're late to the party.
You missed the heist. Now you're just going to try and get.
We're maintaining its possession.
You're actually being Henny Penny. You're trying to come in late and now get all the gold without doing any of the work.
Or he's Harvey Keitel coming in late to shut us all down.
Did you even bring us dinner like we asked you to?
I did, but I kind of ate it all.
Oh, I mean,
you are incorrigible.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Can I get a time code?
See, in any other movie, this would be the apartment of a serial killer.
Yeah.
That's true.
This is like 7.
56.
Can I get a time code?
5629.
Oh, when you said time code, you meant of the movie.
Yeah.
I gave you our time code earlier. Yikes. Sean Bean, you're not as smart.
Right. Cool.
And the chat is going to hear that and be confused. It's
I saw Christian Harloff stop by.
Yes, Christian Harloff did stop by.
He did.
This Russian guy gets it.
Damn shame.
Malcolm wants to know if we've taken Indiana yet. Chris Clark.
We have not thus far taken Indiana.
No.
Guys, work has to be done.
I went to sleep and I didn't realize I typed Indiana.
Oh, look what's back.
Can I get a time code one more time?
Evan, God damn it! I'm sending it to you in the private chat because I don't want to throw everyone off that's watching.
Captivating.
That's actually, we're farther now. I feel like. Go to like 58 minutes, Evan.
Are you good? Yeah, we're good.
All right.
Yeah, I think I'm on point.
You're cool. Here's John. No, that's not.
No. Oh, you missed it earlier. At one point, Chris Clark thought that Leslie Nielsen and Liam Neeson were also the same person.
There's a lot of things that happened tonight that I'm not proud of. The first 40 minutes.
I'm glad I missed it.
You missed out on some Chris Clark commentary.
They take forever to get to his dad. Not only do Nick Cage take forever to get to the FBI take forever to get to his dad.
Welcome to America. And
welcome to all the bureaucratic red tape that have to fucking...
Yeah. Also, traffic there is atrocious. Like, DC traffic is some of the worst in the country.
The FBI and the Declaration of Independence has just been stolen. Trust me, you're putting every siren on in the world.
Are you, though?
Are you, though?
Not right now.
You get helicopters.
Well, I think he's in for a surprise.
John Voight seems like the nicest person ever.
Oh, yeah, totally. Totally nicest person in the world.
Outside of all
that may have had a tinge of sarcasm in it.
Is that sarcasm?
Oh, wait, is he actually a dick? I didn't know. Oh.
He's a right-wing nut job.
He's a very nice guy, though.
Okay.
Garth, I know that there are some watch-alongs that display the running time code. We don't do that because I don't know exactly how to run that through using StreamYard. So I apologize, but
there is a way to do it.
We did look into it. It's just really hard. Very difficult.
I'm gonna try to do something for the next one just to see how it works, and we'll see how that goes. I have an idea. We'll go through that next time, though.
It's also cooler if we don't have one. I mean, we could have a time code, but like that would make us a bunch of dorks. So we're just gonna like kind of freewheel it and just watch National Treasure the way we want to. So Garth, back up.
Well, then.
What just happened? Did you just become a Valley girl?
No,
if I was a Valley girl, it wouldn't be that.
If he was a Valley girl, he would be like that, sugar. He would be like that.
No, it's fine.
To Chris Clark
did I black out and come back to a different show?
No, just time codes aren't in right now, and we're not going to have a time code right now. Okay, everybody just calm down. Guys, John Voight is on screen. Just pay attention.
Hogue.
What is
every time I see John Voight, I just think of Tomb Raider. Yeah. I just think of Lara Croft.
Oh, I went full.
Patrick Hogue, your outfit today is ugly.
Yeah.
My gosh.
Are we in the darkest?
Says the man wearing the Christmas sweater.
Sounds like we're in the darkest timeline, Pat. Yeah. It definitely sounds like that.
Feels like the darkest timeline right now.
Fair. It's a pretty good sweater.
It's a Deadpool one. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
It has snowflakes. It's Deadpool Christmas.
Evan, are you trapped in a time warp?
Right now. They're gonna find out right now.
God, Nick Cage is so dumb.
Those gloves look like the mother's gloves from Dexter's
Nick
Laboratory.
Cage is doing the best job at doing the
Chris, good reference.
We need to be doing now, wearing gloves to make sure that we don't get sick and make people sick around us.
Bro, he visited 3 cities in a span of 24 hours. He's the opposite of what social distancing is.
For sure.
Yeah, he is.
Evan, you weren't even here for that, okay?
You were 4 years old when this was released, Evan.
Heat. You gotta use heat.
Don't be ageist.
I love suspenders. Suspenders feel
Hey,
really
they're talking about you, PJ.
I want some pizza right now.
Same. Cheese pizza?
I mean, literally anything. Did you guys see that viral tweet going around yesterday where it was choose the best types of pizza?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. It was a great tweet, and I'm glad that so many agreed that the New York slice is the way to go.
Oh, yeah.
They said pick 3, and I picked the New York and the Chicago, and I was like, I only need 2.
I only needed 1. 4, 4, and 4. We are going all the way with the New York slice, my friends.
New York is the best, though.
Yeah,
like out of all of them, for sure.
And a close second is the Napoleon.
Chris is actually right here.
No, it's all about the New York slice. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, me and Evan are on the same track.
I mean, look, I'm not saying that you can't enjoy that.
Okay, we are about to miss the best part of the movie. We need to guys, there's a map on the back of the Declaration of Independence. We stand a legend.
And the Declaration of Independence.
We stand John Boyd in that robe.
Thank you.
And it looks like the logo for Famous Last Words.
I agree with Tim Sim. New York slices for life. Mike K. New York is the only pizza. We got some smart people in the chat right now.
And I'm the closest to the New York slice.
You need heat.
You're a pizzist.
Guys, I'll get more lemons. I'll get more heat.
Oh, that's
I
lemon.
just want to give you guys some context of us watching this. We're about half a second out of sync with the audio and the visual is about half a second out of sync. So it is actually hilarious to see some of this happen.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
I thought for the longest time those were peaches, not lemons, because they look like the peaches that you get in a can that you slice.
Those are 100% lemon.
Yeah.
Not even close. Chris.
Yeah, but it looks like that's what I used to think as a kid. I remember going to the food store to get fruit cocktail, because it made me hungry for that. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's just memories coming back to me.
Garth says, when life gives you lemons, you find a map on the back of the Declaration of Independence.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
Well, to quote Meatloaf, life is a lemon and I want my money back.
Justin says that's the most seductive breath I've ever seen.
They looked orange. I know. They kind of looked orange and kind of the shadowing. I know they looked yellow, but
no, they're clearly lemons, Chris Clark.
I know. I know.
It's Nicolas Cage's dimples that give me hope that I'll make it as an actor.
I could see that.
You have his eyes.
Crazy eyes? I'll take it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you have his cheekbones, too. Actually, you kind of do look a little like Nick Cage.
Can we also just point out the fact that he literally pulled his glove off with his middle finger in a Disney film, so that it's like he's giving him the finger without giving him the finger?
Yeah, it was clever.
Just rips it.
There it is. He touched it with his bare hands.
See this? If he was Leslie Nielsen, that thing would be in the toilet by now. He would have been flying with it all over the room.
Yeah, with that naked woman.
That's a good point.
I can explain, but I don't have time. Fucking Nick Cage. I swear to God.
Why are you so hard on Nick Cage, bro? Nick Cage is one of the all-time great actors.
We're all having fun here.
Yeah.
Look at his eyes.
And
Look
no,
at his sideburns.
seriously, Evan, Nick Cage is one of the all-time great actors.
We're here hard on Nick Cage, and you're being hard on Nick Cage. You're not being
Evan,
a team player.
Nick Cage is just as good. I was trying to insult you somehow, and I can't actually think of it, so I'm going to stop that now.
Yeah.
There we go.
Evan insults himself. So.
By
I was
existence.
going to try and link him to Brad Bird, but I just couldn't think of how to do it.
Tim Franco says that this movie's a real conservator's nightmare. Anyone trying to be like conserving on anything, definitely not. Yes, Kristen, Nick Cage's love, Nick Cage's life. That is absolutely correct. Tim Franco leaving Las Vegas, Evan, also correct.
Dude, he won an Oscar for it.
Right. And we have to remember Moonstruck and Raising Arizona. Nick Cage is a good actor.
Bringing Out the Dead.
Yeah, I mean, the dude can act. Mandy?
I would also like to mention that through our many Nicolas Cage movies we've been watching recently, every time I post on Twitter that we're watching a Nicolas Cage movie, I try to use a different GIF from Get in the Cage with Nick Cage from Saturday Night Live, because that's one of my favorite sketches of all time.
Adaptation. Con Air.
Adaptation. So
Face
good.
Off.
The Rock.
Yeah.
The Rock.
We literally just watched The Rock like
We
2 days
did.
ago.
Knives Out.
another one.
Kick ass. I mean,
Vampire Kiss. Yeah, not Knives Out. He was not. He should be.
I meant-
I
Did
still
you say
want-
Knives Out?
I want him to be in the
Kick-Ass.
second
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
We need
kick
to
ass.
see Knives
Yeah.
Out too.
He's
I-
so kick ass.
Knives Out and Kick Ass
Joe.
have the same kind of logo.
Yeah.
That's,
Kick Ass, Valley Girl,
What?
Joe, as just said. Like, there's some great ones, man. So, Evan, take your Nick Cage hate elsewhere.
I'm not hating. I'm just saying he's Nick Cage.
See,
Like,
Sean Bean
it's
likes
just
kids.
Nick Cage.
See, but when Evan says, I'm just saying it's Nick Cage, and the rest of us, when we say, I'm just saying it's Nick Cage, mean two very different things, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. Evan's like, he's just Nick Cage. Where we're like, yeah, he's fucking Nick Cage.
he's not a meme. He's a movie.
Exactly.
He's a movement.
A
Yeah.
movie, that's what I mean. He's not a meme.
Kristen Smith has it right. This is a Nick Cage house.
This isn't a house. It's a cage.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Nick Cage with Nick Cage.
Yes.
Mike K says there's no such thing as just Nick Cage. So, Evan, get it together.
That's my point.
Hate the man.
He shows up late, he doesn't bring us food, and then he starts
I
insulting
got it
Nick.
together.
And he spills his food over his laptop.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just karma.
you deserve that.
And this was also a movie that made me think, like, oh, I could learn history, and I could be this cool. I could, figure out things. I didn't, but I thought about it.
Do you guys find it hard to read that cursive writing on documents?
No.
No.
Okay, it's hard. It's hard to see it as far back as they are. That's because you've naturally got to be standing back from these documents. If you're actually able to physically read them as
Yeah.
like we read stuff, then no, I don't think it would be.
Kelly says the kid's not getting paid enough.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Because
Chris-
it'd be about $20, I reckon.
Oh, wait, no. Just wait. He's about to get a paycheck.
Kristen and Tim both said they're history majors and they didn't get to do anything this cool. Mike K says he wishes Disney would go back to making swashbuckling adventure films like this. I mean, here's the thing, man. They've tried. People just don't show up. Lone Ranger, John Carter,
Treasure Planet.
the problem. People just don't show up for these movies. It's not the kind of movie, apparently, that people want, even though every time we talk about The Mask of Zorro, we're reminded people love it. Even The Rocketeer didn't do that well when it came out. I mean, not enough that they ever made us.
Well, but it's not just that. It's also that a lot of those movies are just bad.
Get out of here. Which one of those?
Most of the latest Pirates of the Caribbeans, Lone Ranger, John Carter wasn't bad, but it was.
You're dismissed. It's fine.
You like Lone Ranger?
I do. I've come around on Lone Ranger super heavily.
Huh.
Escape
Yeah,
from the
no.
Oh
Mountain.
man, Chris Skaliski in house right now. I like to
Chris!
see
Oh, Evan's disappeared.
we miss you, Chris. We miss you. We're glad you're here. Mike K. Disney, am I out of touch? No, it's the people.
Oh, it's the people who are wrong.
Their jackets. Cute.
I love that's such a simple way to show that they're flirting.
They're in love and they're gonna have babies.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
This is that moment that you were talking about a little bit earlier.
This
Oh,
is
yeah. Oh,
such
wait.
everyone has had this moment in their life where they've known something hot above someone else, and that they can.
I don't see it. I'm not seeing it, guys.
This is how I feel almost every time I talk to Jacob about anything.
That's fair.
See, it's a 1, guys. It's a 1, which means it's happening at 1 o'clock, which means I don't know.
Chris Skaliski says he's actually never seen The Lone Ranger. I mean, I'm not going to give it like a super ringing endorsement if you've never seen it, but if you like stuff like Mask of Zorro, it's definitely worth your time. It's long. That's that movie's
That's the biggest problem. It's long, but I love that. I love that third act. That third act is so much fun.
That third act is a reminder of what blockbuster filmmaking can be when you give it to someone who just wants to go batshit crazy with the budget you have.
See, this is the moment when I saw it in theaters, and I thought this was the greatest movie that was ever made. Because Benjamin Franklin is just a cool guy.
Yeah, he's fat. He has all the chicks.
Yeah.
But you can totally tell that the writer was told, just find anything, write a story around it. And he found like $100 bill, and he's like, okay, 4 o'clock at a clock tower somewhere.
My favorite part about it is that Dan Brown, after he did Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons, like the third book he did was The Lost Symbol, which is basically his version of
this
National Treasure. And it's so much less interesting. And it's easily my least favorite in that series. And it's why they never turned it into a movie, because every time they tried to adapt it, it just didn't really work. So it's just kind of funny to me that this is basically that book series, but as a movie, but done really well.
I like that he gives him credit. Like, that's such a nice... And then this moment.
Well, Garth apparently doesn't like Dan Brown and he hates the books, but, you know, that's okay, man.
Yeah, Walensky, they just did the they literally just did the daylight savings moment.
The $100 bill with the bottle.
It's hard to give people time codes when we're a little bit ahead because of lag purposes. So. That's a Windows 98 right there.
I love how easy that was for them.
Oh yeah, like I do love that. You know, Nick Cage and them, they do all the hard work.
Yeah,
and the other guys get like one line, and they're able to keep following.
It's fantastic. I love it.
Yeah, this is where I was like, I wonder what's up those stairs when it's blocked off. So.
Jessica Morgan says, "I love the fake Google pages in movies."
Oh hell yeah! They're so much fun.
Oh, look who's trying to come back.
Evan, what happened, bud?
Nick Cage infiltrated Evan's Wi-Fi and turned it off because he was, you know, being rude about his acting career.
Nicolas Cage's third mission was to stop Evan from being on this commentary. That's National Treasure 3.
You could say his internet was moonstruck.
Kristen says Evan Giraffe is back.
Oh, I have that somewhere. I don't know if you guys ever saw that meme, but Evan Giraffe. I might be able to bring it up before the end of the stream.
Jump, Nicolas Cage, jump. Nobody likes a showboat, Riley.
Might not work tonight.
Dude, I just love seeing all the different historical places. We were kind of talking about it earlier, but imagine getting to shoot this movie and just that feeling of walking around these historical places and getting to actually shoot there.
Yeah.
You know, not every movie is that lucky.
No.
That's what that Disney money will get you.
It's true.
See, this reveal here of nothing in there, but then looking at the brick. It's just they always take it that one extra step they don't need to, but it makes it that much cooler.
Yeah.
Come on, Sean Bean.
Oh, Evan had to drop again.
They're called glasses.
Or spectacles.
I found these pedicure covers. Those are shoes, Nick. Shoes.
It seems so obvious, but, you know. What can I say, man?
Also, wait, this moment here is also great.
Yeah. Oh, I agree with Chris. Chris Skaliski just said that he thinks they should bring Sean Bean back for National Treasure 3. I think that would be a great idea, actually.
Bring it all full circle.
I do like that moment.
Spectacles.
Trippy.
I really want a replica of these glasses, you guys. I'd wear them all the time.
If I find like a replica of these glasses somewhere, that's going to be my gift to Pat. I will find them.
I would literally wear them all the time, and you guys know it.
I love Riley trying to grab the glasses.
Wisely.
They're here.
What is this, Poltergeist?
Oh, that's from Poltergeist. Yeah.
Yeah, it is from Poltergeist. Very good, Chris.
Oh, he's not here right now. So, but here's Evan Giraffe.
Thank you, Chris, for gracing the internet with that.
That's beautiful.
That's from 2013. That's from 3 years ago. 14.
When did you say 2013?
I mean 2014. That's like 3 years ago.
That would be.
That'd be nearly
That would be 6 years ago, Chris.
Oh, it wasn't that long ago.
It was 2017, maybe 2018 that you did that.
Okay.
That's what I meant. It feels like 2014.
Everybody's jackets.
I love East Coast, like wearing like the clothes. I love the clothes they wear on the East Coast. The wardrobe of the East Coast is my favorite. I want those.
So the other thing, though, okay, just to be, when is daylight saving? Like it wouldn't be jacket weather in Philly.
Yeah, what?
Well, it's not.
David Savings is like November.
But it's
before.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It's right before Halloween. Never mind. Yeah.
So right after Halloween, yeah. So it would be because it's winter. Yep.
But
so
they're also not saying that it's daylight savings now. They're just saying that daylight savings was enacted after they signed, like they set the clue in there. So it's like they're not talking about the time of year. They're just saying that everything would be an hour ahead because they created daylight savings later.
Unless it wasn't daylight savings at that point, then everything would be back to normal.
It just made for a great chase.
I'm just, putting.
No, it's just daylight savings didn't exist when the clue was put in there, and it exists now in modern day for them.
I love this. I think this is such a brilliant way for her to do the hide. Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
Damn, he ugly. That's what she said, right? You can't get that, Sayas.
Hide your gun, sir.
For a second, I thought that was Colin Fail.
Oh, it's a great moment.
It is.
No, it's such a good moment. It plays so well.
Wait, are we seeing how Nicolas Cage runs?
Yep.
Yep.
He runs like he's got a limp.
Oh, he said gates and then shut a gate.
Guys,
That is so
we've
symbolic.
reached peak meta.
He definitely doesn't run nearly as well as Tom Cruise runs.
No, because Tom Cruise has the greatest on-screen running you can ever.
I wonder if that's something that actors think about. Because if I ever had to run on screen, I'd be like, I'm gonna look like a fucking moron.
Yeah.
I like that, by the way, too. This is like such a great chase scene, but also because he's not like a stereotypical action hero, him reacting to the fact that he punches that guy in the face and he hurts himself in the process. I love that. It's such a little touch, but it works. Okay, I killed everybody in the chat. That was my bad.
No, it was just such a good point. We were left too astounded.
We were less speechless.
He can't open the gate. That's such a problem for a man whose last name is Gate.
And again, with the meta-ness of the Gate,
Yep.
there's doubling down.
That being
More
said, there are
So many
a
gates.
lot of gates.
I love it.
Okay, he shot a pole and not Nicolas Cage.
He's got stormtrooper aim.
Even stormtroopers wouldn't be able to hit the pole though.
Ooh.
Jump. You won't.
I mean, it could be like the other guys. He could jump, aim for the bushes.
Aim for the bushes.
Oh god, that's this year too.
Yeah.
That's August.
Of National Treasure?
No, the other guy.
No, other guys' 10-year anniversary is in August.
Okay.
This movie is, I think, 16 years old.
Isn't it
Yeah.
2004?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at the end of this year, it'll be 16 years old.
That's insane.
I know, it doesn't feel like it should be that old already, and yet here we are.
Like, it's crazy to even think the sequel's 13 years old.
Well,
And again, all the reason for them to consider doing it on Disney Plus versus theatrical is that on Disney Plus, you're not making nearly as big of an investment and a potential loss doing such a big years later sequel.
Yeah. Could you imagine being the truck driver that drove over the Declaration of Independence?
And not even
No, why do you ask?
And completely destroyed it. Not even realized.
Couldn't completely understand how that feels. That would implicate me. Weird question, Jacob. Or no.
Man.
I love that that's still just what they're after.
I know.
Have you seen
Look,
this
they
guy?
should have
Oh, that's
known
Nicolas
that.
Cage.
I love that the whole crux of this is that they still knew. And I just think that it just says so much about the whole situation.
I've been here before. This is in Philadelphia.
Look who is in-house. Brad Gilmore is currently in the chat right now. Brad Gilmore, it is
What's up,
good
Brad?
to see you.
It's great to see the boat because there was a boat pipe at the beginning of the movie. Bomb.
That is a great way to say it, Chris. Thank you.
That is our finest film critic right there.
Yeah. What's up, Brad? He has a great book out.
I'm Mr. Harvey Keitel. What are you doing here?
Yeah, Brad Gilmore currently has a book out about the greatest series of all time, and that is Back to the Future. I would hope that you guys would want to go pick that up. He and I are actually talking about trying to get him on the show to talk about it soon.
You should.
But I'm going to go ahead and also post the link for this book in the chat. It is Back from the Future, and I adore this book, and I love it so, so much, and I hope you guys will consider buying yourself a copy because it is very, very good, and he talks about, again, the greatest film of all time in the greatest film series of all time, Back to the Future.
Yeah, Mike K, you really need that book.
I agree. Mike K, you do need that book. Hit that link and buy that book. Show Brad some support. I like it, door number 2.
Where are we in the movie?
I
I'm
feel
late.
better inside.
If somebody could give Brad the time code in the chat, because we're ahead of you guys, so we would throw you off.
We are at. Hold on.
They just sent it.
Oh, never mind.
I love this reveal. I think this is an absolute
Brilliant
huge reveal.
See
Yes.
this, but even as a kid, I was like, why didn't they try that earlier? Because it has the levers to like move things.
Yeah, but you don't really think about it in the moment, especially when you're being chased by bad people.
I thought about it, and I was 6 at the time.
You didn't have an adrenaline rush then, okay? God.
Fair.
God.
I didn't have the cage rage.
It's true, man. It's true.
It did freak me out. My brother's name is Ian, and my name is Patrick. And I was upset that there weren't more of my siblings' names in this movie.
I want to say this, too, about the movie, kind of overall. Something I've always enjoyed about it. I like the way that all the storylines seem so fractured a little bit throughout. And the whole third act feels like such a cool culmination of literally everything coming together in the right way. Like, every character kind of meeting at the right point. It's a little thing, but I feel like sometimes movies don't always feel natural in the progression, and in this one it does for me.
No, it does. The third act of this movie does really, really work.
The greatest city in the world.
Amen to that.
Detroit.
Oh, it's good to have Pat Hogue here, but goodbye.
I think his internet just cut out. Yeah.
I don't know where I went. It was dark. There was no clams.
Were you able to pull Evan out of there or no?
No, he can stay.
Okay.
But it was terrifying.
Oh, God.
PJ, I'm sorry.
There's such a. I love the vibe of this movie because it's such a great adventure film, but it never dives fully into being like an action film. But this whole sequence actually feels very kind of fun and tense, and a big part of that is I love the score. The score just sells this scene and this moment so high, or so heavily. I mean, it just works.
But it is fun that they get to use cities that you don't see often in these kind of like bigger action movies, like Washington and
Philadelphia,
Boston, Philadelphia.
Yeah, I wish that we'd see more of that, to be honest. Like, don't get me wrong. Do I love seeing New York in just about any movie? Yes, absolutely I do. But I also like seeing... There's a reason, like, globe-trotting adventure is what Indiana Jones became known as, or even, like, the James Bond films. They're very well known for their gorgeous locales. They're exotic, you know? Sometimes it's fun to just shine a light on things like that.
Yeah, but it's also that these movies get to do a fun thing where it's not necessarily, like, the exotic places you have to go, but it's, like, what's hidden right underneath your feet.
I do love
you never
that.
knew about.
Me too. Which thing do you love, Jacob?
Sorry, the build up that they're gonna shoot him, and then no, it's just a interference.
Yeah, it's very, very smart. Again, I think John Turteltaub doesn't get enough love for his direction for this film. Like, it's actually it seems so easy and so simple sometimes, but it works so well at the same time.
It's a very specific tone you have to maintain.
Yeah,
and it does a good job.
I totally agree with that.
Helicopters must be scary.
Why are they?
Because the propellers, and if it's close to your head, it could cut your head off.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
There's always a third door.
Yeah, he's about to jump. Grab him now. All right, thanks. We got Nicolas Cage before he jumped. Cool.
Oh, he's broke. His legs are broke. Oh, there you go. You could still break your legs if you fall from that height in the water.
That would be horrifying.
Which part? Jumping into the water?
Yes.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah. What if?
Well, that's why the two cops are like, nope.
No, actually.
Especially in the rivers in New York.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Very, very dirty water. Not great.
Yeah.
And
Like
sharks in there.
It just reminds me of that line from Fugitive. It's they can turn this entire like green one day of the year. They can't make it blue the other 365.
Yeah, there's actually an episode of Spin City that deals with them having to jump into the Hudson and like how dirty the water is. Shout out Michael J. Fox in that show. But it just, I think of that every time. And even like when they're underwater, you see all that crap floating around in it and stuff.
Yeah.
The New York rivers are not the prettiest.
Yeah, but that water makes the best pizza.
It's true.
That's the secret. They soak it in the water.
Every time it comes out of the oven, they just like dunk it in like twice and serve it out. Beautiful.
It also makes the best bagels. I believe we can all be in agreement. New York bagels are aces.
I love
New Jersey, sir.
A cinnamon bagel with mayonnaise on it. Mwah.
I'm sorry, excuse me, what?
Cinnamon bagel with mayonnaise.
I have no words. I cannot believe you defile a cinnamon bagel like that.
I am horrified beyond belief at that sentence right now.
It's delicious. And a plain bagel with just mayonnaise on it is yummy too.
That's more normal. A cinnamon bagel with cream cheese, maybe, but mayonnaise?
Yeah. That or cocoa or something.
What?
I don't know. I won't go with this.
Chris.
But yeah, mayonnaise with bagels is great.
The chat, I believe, is in agreement with us. What? Wait, what the fuck? Please don't put mayo on bagels.
I'm sorry. No, hold on. Can we spotlight Star Drew's comment?
Yeah, I was gonna say, and then Tim Hortons, shout out to Tim Hortons.
Guys, all this bagel talk is making me really sad because you can't really get bagels in Australia. Like you can, but they're like hard as a rock. Like
what are bagels?
You can't eat them, and guys. I haven't had a real bagel in like a year, and I'm so upset. I'm actually
thinking about ordering some bagels from New York right now during the quarantine because Katz's Deli is like doing packages and letting people order from them. So I'm thinking about doing it.
So we basically, whenever we get back to the US, Taylor's diet just basically becomes bagels every single morning, as much as she can. Real Starbucks as much as you can. Cheez-Its as much as you can.
Soft pretzels because they don't have soft pretzels here.
We don't even have them here. Like it's not like you can't get it. You just cannot. We just don't have soft pretzels.
You don't have Cheez-Its?
Yeah, Chris, I'm with you. Now I want a bagel. I want a bagel too, Chris.
With mayonnaise?
No, not with. No. You are a freak. I love you, Chris, but you're a freak.
Love mayonnaise. It's great. The best thing.
Chris says maybe he'll settle for a Pop-Tart. I mean, I can get behind that. It's not the worst idea.
It's not a bad decision.
My favorite Pop-Tarts were the apple cinnamon ones, but they discontinued them.
Are you always so backwards?
Wait, what? Apple cinnamon Pop-Tarts were great.
I will return. I will be right back.
He's getting apple cinnamon Pop-Tarts. Riveting commentary.
Sean Bean's mean. Yeah. That's a mean move.
Yeah, he looks so adorable and sad.
He kidnaps actor John Voight. Gosh.
And it's not, it's not, who's the guy I mistook him for? Rutger Hauer. Yeah. Rutger Hauer should be in the new National Treasure too. That would
Didn't he die?
I mean, considering he passed away last year, I don't really quite know how that's going to be possible. But
I mean, they need another corpse to guard a treasure.
Yeah, he died last year.
I did not. Oh my god, this is awkward now. Oh.
Yes, it's awkward now.
Yeah,
only 4 commentaries ago.
Oh my god.
Nicolas Cage has the best eyebrows.
He does. He looks like he's straight out of GoldenEye.
Sean Bean.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Guys, did you know that I've been looking at this for hours?
Mm-hmm.
That's George Washington.
No shit, Sherlock.
I'm just saying. That's a clue.
Oh, God.
Oh, I know.
Looking into my soul.
And you are the one. Yeah.
And it's green, like the Matrix.
Mm-hmm. And it's one of a kind, like you, Patrick.
Chris, you can't butter me up to stop me from investigating this mystery.
I know.
See, he didn't just try this earlier of like, oh.
But that's not as, dramatic.
Yeah, that's yeah. I get it. I mean, this is a perfect movie, so it's like we can't
Exactly.
criticize it.
Exactly. Is there a map on the $1 bill?
Can't really be a map on the $1 bill. Well, maybe.
It's leading us to Egypt.
That's gonna be a pricey ticket.
PJ, you missed that Clark had no idea Rutger Hauer had passed away.
Oh dear God, are you serious?
So he's sitting there going, Rutger Hauer should be in National Treasure 3.
I mean,
I suggested they need another corpse to guard one of the treasures. Is that horrible and in bad taste?
Little bit.
He needs work. He hasn't worked in a while.
That's a horrifying thought. So thank you guys for that.
I'm going to hell.
Yeah, you are.
I feel bad he's dead and he was never in National Treasure.
I'm really glad that's what you're sad about and feel bad about, Chris.
Oh,
Not the fact that he had passed away or anything.
Oh no, that too. Like he was Jerry Springer's twin. But yeah. Oh my God.
What?
He looks like Jerry Springer a little bit. Rutger Hauer, especially in Batman Begins. And this is the
Just
Shining.
defile a corpse.
Here's John.
I won't lie. This definitely made me want to go into some of the churches in New York and just start trying to find tombs underneath.
Yeah.
Same. I think I successfully did a couple.
Just defiling a corpse.
You can tell these guys are the bad guys because they say mean things.
And they have a flashlight.
Yeah. It is kind of a plot hole that if they chose the grave to the right, they would have gone straight to the treasure.
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
like 2 or 3 to the side.
Yeah.
But I guess at the same time, it's, no, don't, because that's where the map said, whereas in the other ones, you are literally just defiling actual corpses.
Yeah.
But that one had a corpse in it.
I know that one did as well, but it's also had a thing behind it that the map didn't mention.
But they definitely want you to go to this one because, look, now you get the torch. They left the torch there for a reason.
True.
And you also have to use the pipe, and you have to use the pipe to open up the door thing.
I get it, but that's the thing. If you go into the other one that's 2 doors to the right, you would need the pipe.
No, but you don't know that one exists.
But you could also just be like, all right, we're going to check all of these real quick just to see if there's any others. Like, let's just do our due diligence.
Again, then you're defiling
Look at
a
that.
Sure, you've made it this far.
It's just the girl.
Oh, God.
So nice.
Again, this is what we were talking. This is like, they don't do this in movies very often anymore.
What?
Well,
Kiss people?
No,
but like the hero and the lady met for 2 days.
There isn't the love interest as much in movies anymore. Really?
Well, it's what we were talking about before the show, Jacob, about like Mary Jane in the Spider-Man movies. You said that they probably might kill her in the 3rd Spider-Man. And the thing about like modern blockbusters and movies like this, especially with Marvel, is that they're pretty good at like recognizing those tropes and like avoiding them enough, like doing like fun different versions of them. And like, yeah, it's funny that you don't get that like that big kiss moment, because I feel like a lot of us would be like, oh, nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wood. And it's on fire.
This wood is on fire. Yeah.
By throwing people at it. Lots and lots of people. No, people died, guys.
No, it was slavery. That's how they did it. It
Human
was slavery.
suffering. Lots of suffering.
I can't imagine even trying to walk down these stairs.
Nah, I'd be like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm really good.
Yeah.
I don't care how much treasure is down there.
I'd fall
They're
straight
making
through.
actor John Voight go first.
Yeah, why would he be the one going first? That's
the least coordinated person of the group.
Yeah.
I think he's the sacrifice. If he falls, they don't lose anything. He
But
would
it's
be the
also
first to
like
fall.
it's like you're setting the person with one leg to like walk on. I'm gonna jump out of this metaphor. This is bad.
Kristen says, "Hey, this is the only shaft we see in the movie. Do you think there's a guy who's going to fall down it?"
Spoilers.
What perfect timing for that comment.
Oh, he's dead. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Bob, can I offer you an egg in this trying time? if it's because it's always sunny in Philadelphia.
Okay, I'm not going to lie to you. This stuff starts to fall and break. My first thought is not jump to the next one because I feel like jumping to anything else is going to potentially break also.
Yeah, but at least it's a better chance than staying on the one that is breaking.
Yeah.
How do you?
They're throwing fire. This is wood, people.
I mean, I'd throw fire.
The other thing as well is how do you not give the declaration? Like, why on earth do you take the declaration with you down here, knowing full well that there is a chance that you will lose it?
There's no point in it anymore having it.
But like so many clues have already been like, oh, that thing you found 5 clues ago. Now it's going to come back and do this. So there's a chance they find like a perfume that reveals something else.
That's totally a corgi.
Corgi.
Yes, hello. Say hi to everybody. You say hi.
Cutie.
Mabel's just happy to be here, guys. I'm trying to watch the movie. You're trying to.
She broke her spine.
Oh.
Oh, you're so good. I know.
Well, nah.
You like the movie too? You like the movie too? Yeah.
Kristen Smith says,
I like that
Mabel,
it's just very
my
slow.
love. Kristen Smith says,
Mondays.
Mabel. And Garth says, corgis are the real national treasure.
I agree.
Aunt Kristen says hi. Yeah, you say hi to Aunt Kristen. Oh, okay. You give me kisses. Okay.
She says, tell Mabel and Kristen says hi.
Really?
You say hi to Aunt Kristen. Wave. Wave to Aunt Kristen. Yeah, yeah. You say hi. You eat my hand too. Okay. You good girl. All right, I'm gonna put you down now. I feel like there always has to be at least one corgi cameo during our watch-alongs at this point, or
That's
just doing it wrong.
I'm waiting for Buddy to make his stance soon.
Buddy doesn't hang out in the office very often.
Oh,
He has a giant Stitch pillow pet that he likes to lay on, and I'm not talking about Stitch the cat, like an actual, giant pillow pet that is of Stitch.
it'd be funny if he was laying on Stitch, though.
It would be fun.
It is. I know like a lot of jokes are made about this being off of Indiana Jones and Uncharted being Indiana Jones, but like Uncharted feels way more like in service to this movie than it is to like Indiana Jones.
I definitely agree with that.
Kristen says my heart is full.
I would even say, again, I mean, the obvious comparison is the Dan Brown books, because this definitely was coming off of the fact that Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons as books had been so popular.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
because the movie hasn't come out for another 3 years after this.
Right. So, I mean, you just have to think about at the time with those books being so popular, that was clearly what the influence could be on it.
Yeah.
And in that same way, the art imitating each other ended up becoming, as we know,
But
the lost symbol.
Yeah, but it's weird that this movie has, as opposed to the Da Vinci Code and opposed to Indiana Jones or like Uncharted, this movie has a lot of a reverence for American history and a lot of, and it's weird how there was kind of mid 2000s sort of nostalgia for that of, oh, look where we used to be.
Right.
I watched Lincoln with Daniel Day-Lewis recently, and it was weird of, oh man, there was a time where we revered this kind of nostalgia for classic America.
Right. I think that still exists very frequently. I think that it's a reason you see so many people clamoring for classic American values, as they say, and stuff.
Look at Hamilton.
That. Yeah, Hamilton's a great example of that. You look at 1776, like those.
1776 is being remade.
Yeah.
I really love this moment of how they use the emotional low point of the film, like in the 3-act structure, they use as not a joke, as a deception.
Yeah, because like Nicolas Cage wouldn't give up. There's no way he would give up.
They have to have that emotional low point in the film, which is this moment here, and it's actually just it's actually a bluff.
Totally. And this moment of Jon Voight helping Nick Cage, it is a well done kind of making fun of like this moment of, why does everything have to be sad right now? We know they're going to get past it, and they use that to their advantage.
Yeah.
Is Jon Voight in 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is Helen Mirren.
And he plays
Ed Harris is the villain.
What he plays Pike in the new Star Trek.
Oh yeah, he is Bruce Greenwood. He's the president.
Bruce Greenwood. He's
the
great
president
in that one.
Bruce Greenwood is also arguably like the second or third best animated Batman, because he was Batman in Under the Red Hood.
He was.
Oh.
Joe DiMaggio, though, in Batman Brave and Bold is great.
I just love that. Was so brilliant to use more history to throw them off. Just such a brilliant move. I love that so much. And again, it just fits this film so perfectly and shows how smart both of them are.
I love that one.
But it is kind of funny that wasn't different than any other of his speeches.
Right.
Like, it could totally be legitimate, but he just knows this will sound good enough.
He's a car salesman.
Car salesman with a torch.
Car salesman with a torch.
Poor Riley. I do love that line of dialogue through the treasure room.
And this is where they find the guy with the grails. You have chosen wisely. Jon Voight is such a likable old man in this.
I mean, he knows how to play a likable person, that's for sure.
I'm just saying, he bought me dinner. And he bought an entire crew dinner. He was a very nice man to me.
Oh wait, that was actually a true thing that happened?
Yeah, I was working with him for 3 weeks. Very nice man. Regardless of his beliefs, which might be kooky.
I love that look on his face. Like, the sheer disappointment of this at that moment is so strong, and I just think that Cage sells it so well, because this has been a lifelong thing for him, and he just, I love the look of defeat.
Yeah,
this is the emotional low point.
Yeah, the
true low point.
Well, and this is such a good message. It's like, even though you made it here, it that's what matters, is that you found it.
Right.
And
it's the journey, not the destination.
And there's always a fake wall that has your actual destination behind.
Yeah. But it is such a good narrative device of...
It's good for the dad to... But what this also does is it gives the dad the moment to have, no, I'm proud of you, not because you found the truth. Like, it's not that there is a monetary reward for being proud of you at that moment,
but that you didn't give up.
Yeah, no, I'm proud of you. Like, this room exists. It means that that there was something in this room at some point.
Yeah. Well, and again, it's just a good narrative device of you think, oh, this is a room big enough to have a treasure.
Yeah.
And so when the reveal does come, you're like, oh, that's big.
Okay, so here's the other question. Would you have been satisfied that it's a sequel setup? No, that it's a sequel setup. They don't find it. It's the setup for the next one.
I don't know, because this next moment with the boat is the moment I remember the most, because I normally have this problem of, well, why couldn't you just go back in from the top? Because you needed this key, which is why I joke about just check the other grave. But this moment works.
By the way,
so
I
well.
don't know if you guys hear it, but they definitely use some of the horns that they use in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies right there in the score. Like, it sounds very Pirates-esque for half a second.
What year was Pirates? 2001?
03.
This line and the way he
Pirates
delivers
is the movie
is
that
so good.
Pirates is the one that really put Jerry Bruckheimer back on the good books for everyone.
Well, Bad Boys 3 was 2003 as well, and that made a ton
Bad
of
Boys 2, you mean?
Or Bad Boys 2, I mean, yeah.
And this is why Brad Gilmore being in the chat was great, because the boat is the key.
I love everything about this. Again, this movie brilliantly kind of brings everything full circle in the right way without it feeling forced, and that's something I always liked.
Well, and this is the moment in Onward that I didn't talk about of you had to go through the journey to get the key to unlock the thing for the MacGuffin at the end, which is fun. I also just love hidden doors.
We all like a hidden door. Tony Stark liked a hidden door in Age of Ultron.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yay!
He's so excited when he finds it. I just love the score right here.
Yeah,
man.
it really comes to play. And the reveal, this is the scene, which is why this makes it a complete meal, that if it was the setup for a sequel, I think I would feel pretty cheated. Because this is so good.
Yeah. What is it about American-based films like this and like movies that have to do with, I don't know, like U.S. history and presidents and stuff? They always have these really just patriotic feeling scores. Have you, like, even if you look at like the American President Rob Reiner made, or A Few Good Men, like the scores of these movies are so memorable. I don't know. It's just very interesting to me. Like, they're very, I don't want to say it this way, but it sounds like a very American score.
No, absolutely. It sounds like an anthem.
Right.
It sounds schmaltzy in the right way.
Mm-hmm. The American President's got such a great score. That's such a fantastic movie.
The look on John Boyd's face here.
I love this.
Yeah.
Oh, Riley.
Are these mummies and stuff too?
No, it's all just statues.
Statues, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there might be a mummy or two in there. And he just devalued that thing by $4 billion?
Yeah, by touching it and hugging it.
This is so ridiculous, too. And I love it even more. Like, every time they do this, you think the reveal's good. And then it's great.
And I like the second one, but it really does not work as well in the second one when they do the same exact reveal for like the next treasure.
Well, the second one really, I mean, there's a reason we're doing the first one over the second. Like, the second one hits all the same beats in almost all the same way, but it doesn't ever feel nearly as exciting, at least to me. Like, it doesn't have the same energy. It doesn't have the same feel. Like, it feels almost like it tries too hard.
Yeah, but I still like it.
But
it's half-baked National Treasure, but it's still National Treasure. And it's that weird thing of, for some people, for Star Wars, it's Star Wars, regardless of how good or bad it is.
Stairs. There's another question. Why is Riley crying at the end of National Treasure?
So how do you exactly make money off of this? Like, how do you make money off of a tree?
Well, museums, you know, like you'd make money selling there's gold in there. There's a lot of historical artifacts that you would be able to sell.
So they could have just gone through that church and went through that wall, and they would have been fine.
Yeah, that's what Pat's been trying to say.
Which I'm willing to overlook it because it's less satisfying if you check the 2 doors to the right.
And the other Sean Bean would have the treasure.
Yeah. But then imagine like them having a big fight in the treasure room and they just choke him out.
I forget.
I love this reveal too, by the way. Like the reveal that Keitel is also one of the Masons, like it just works for me, and it shows why for so long he could have easily been trying to catch him, but it was also like he believed him enough that maybe he'll actually find it.
Yeah.
And they can protect it, you know?
Well, I just love how this whole movie is about, damn it, Nick Cage, you really are charming. All right, we'll believe you this time.
Yeah, because they could have been trapped there forever.
It belongs in a museum.
Oh, isn't it?
Oh.
I'd really love to not go to prison. Somebody's got to go to prison, Ben.
See, and this is the thing. Nick Cage is not acting crazy in this movie. This is movie star swagger.
Yeah.
He's playing it very subdued.
He is. And what's what I love about this is, like, you know, there's a lot that, you know, they actually did technically broke in and tried to steal the Declaration of Independence. That just, hey, we can ignore that Nick Cage was there.
Exactly.
There's always got to be a fall guy.
Sean Bean just be perfect fall guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This movie is about people just like Nick Cage more than Sean Bean. Like, all right, throw him under the bus.
Well, look, Sean Bean tried to kill hobbits once upon a time.
He saved them.
He'll never be forgiven for that.
And now they're filthy rich.
Yep.
Of course, Riley would be wearing that jacket.
Yep.
Svelte.
10%.
With a graphic t-shirt.
He did hug that statue.
Riley, take out that splinter. That's disgusting.
I was more thinking it'd be worth a bit of money because of the wood.
Mm-hmm.
That's 3 months of having a splinter.
Yeah,
I can't
true.
handle one for an hour.
That's true.
Thank you guys.
Enjoy your spoils.
He could afford to get that removed too. Wow, there's a Corvette right there. Kind of looks like a Hot Wheels car, but yeah.
And I mean, I'm not going to harp too much on the sequel, but I think the sequel does like the unforgivable sin out the gate with their relationship and breaking
yeah. That is something that sequels do way too often, and it is so frustrating. Where they're like, no, we're just going to completely undercut the entire ending of our last movie.
Yeah.
Because we basically don't know how to retell the exact same story. So we're just going to retell the same story.
And that's the problem of this whole movie is about everybody realizing, oh shit, Nicolas Cage was right. And the second movie is like, Nicolas Cage, you're crazy. He's like, I just found you a...
and again, that feels like the biggest problem for me, at least, of the sequel. Like, I don't know, man. It just...
And that's the thing. If I took these movies more seriously, I would be more upset. But they are fun. At the baseline, they are fun characters doing fun things.
Yeah.
Oh, and completely understandable. So now that we have revisited this film and we've all had such a great time with it, starting with Taylor, did the movie hold up to the way you remembered it? Because I know you said you hadn't seen it in a little while.
It definitely holds up for me. I think, like we've been talking about through this whole stream, is the way that Nicolas Cage plays this character, the way that he delivers his lines, the way that he understands that he understands what movie he's in, but he still treats it seriously enough where when he gives this big monologue about the Declaration of Independence, you believe that he believes that. And just the fact that we can look back on it now when we're all slightly older and still feel that way, even after we've consumed so much more cinema now as a whole, I think that's a real testament to the way the movie's written and the way the movie was casted. And I just think it's so much fun. Like it understands what it is in that aspect, where it just throws you all this crazy stuff and you just have such a great time. But because these characters are so grounded, you're like, yeah, I absolutely believe that.
Can we also shout out this credit sequence that Disney put together? Like, it's just so beautiful. It reminds me of the MCU credit sequences now. Like, just very similar vibe. But I like what Taylor just said. Chris Clark, I know there wasn't a ton of cheese, but did the movie hold up for you?
Well, there was a ton of cheese in the acting. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No. This movie was fun. It was a great experience. I said a lot of things I regret tonight. But yeah, I just went down memory lane. I felt like every actor in here, regardless of who I thought it was, did a great job. I think this is Nick Cage's best movie. I think his second best movie is The Rock. Third, Moonstruck. Then probably I think Ghost Rider is better than Spider-Man and Spider-Man 3. But yeah, it's
what?
It was great. It was fun, and I just want to know how they got so rich. I don't get it. I just want to know how you can get rich off of finding treasure.
Because those countries and all these places that their history came from, they'll pay to get it back. I mean,
okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, like the museums pay for it. That's
right.
But that's what they were saying is he could have taken 100% of it, kept it all for himself, and put it all in his own museum. He could have done that and made money off it that way, or he gives it back to these other museums, and that's what they were saying at the end. He only took 1%. Was that the finder's fee of finding all this history came with a 1% finder's fee, basically.
Mike K says, I said a lot of things I regret tonight. Should be the name of Chris's memoir. That's a good memoir title. Yeah, I mean, even the Indiana Jones films kind of deal with that, though, right? I mean, you see it in Last Crusade, you see it in Raiders, and the idea of like selling this treasure back to these, museums and stuff like that. I mean, it almost seems shady, but at the same time, you understand what they're doing, and that's why they do it. So Hogue, we've sat back, we've watched the film. What are your thoughts now as the credits roll?
I'm disappointed actually that the sequel wasn't just a giant like court case legal battle about distribution rights between the treasure of like who gets actual rights, like what's ownership. I really think we could have gotten a nice like pretty gripping court drama, but like a few good like Egyptian men, like you can just
a few good pharaohs. Bob.
Chris, this is why you should be a Hollywood producer. This movie is comfort food. This movie is a good time. It's enjoyable. And this is the thing, no matter how many like logical gaps there are, you don't care because the characters and the actors like take this movie seriously enough for you to feel like this is a real adventure. And so you just can go on it and not care about it because as outlandish as it's going to be, Nicolas Cage is still going to care about finding this treasure. And you're just, yeah, Nick, I'm with you. I don't know. You're just in it with them. And it's nice to revisit something that I love from my childhood and go, oh, thank God it's not horrible.
I just have Tim Sim just donated $5 to our stream.
Thank you, Tim.
Tim says, shout out to Jacob Blunden detailing out the perfect case of sequelitis. And then keep it up, PJ. Thank you so much, Tim, for your continued support. We very much appreciate it. And yeah, I mean, I think Jacob nailed a lot of what we talked about earlier with the sequelitis and things like that, because we were kind of talking about it off camera even before we had started. Like, it's a very real situation of Hollywood does that all the time. And I think that the second film in this franchise does all those things that we talk about. So I'm actually going to go to Jacob now that we've revisited it. What are your thoughts now on the other side of this?
I mean, look, I think what Pat said was right. This is just a really fun movie that to say a turn your brain off kind of movie isn't doing it enough justice, because it is better than that. But it's one of those movies where you can just put it on if it's on TV. It's a good distraction movie that's on in the background of while you're watching stuff that, yes, there are huge logic gaps. Yes, there are things that you can laugh at, but we were doing that because it's a watch along and we're laughing, like we're having fun. Like it's so that doesn't take away from the enjoyment of the movie. And it's just one of those movies that it's just a lot of fun to sit down and watch and enjoy. Like it's just a really, really fun movie.
No, it really is. And I still enjoy it very, very much. I mean, I think it's like one of the best comfort films, if you will, at least for me, especially right now, like going through this quarantine and things like that. I mean, you need movies that just make you feel good. And I feel like this movie always has. And I think that there's something to be said about the stars. Like, I think that everyone is so perfectly cast kind of across the board. Just that's part of the reason the movie succeeds. It's on them. And I think John Turtletop's direction goes unfairly overlooked in all of this, because again, it's an impossible balance to try to do what they did. And for an adventure film to have so little actual action and be as thrilling and as engaging as it is, I think that's really, it just shows what a great job they really did with it, because the Dan Brown movie adaptations are not thrilling at all. Like, you're missing that sense of adventure and excitement that this movie packs into like 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Garth has a good thing. He said, in National Treasure 3, the villain should be the little kid they paid to write down stuff for them. He wasn't paid, and he grows up hating them.
Sean Bean gave him $100. If I was a kid that young and got that much money, I would think I just found the National Treasure. So he's fine.
That's great, though.
It's not a bad idea. I also think Mike K says Ghostbusters 2 suffers from some of the worst sequelitis.
Yeah.
100% true. I think that they undo a lot of the first film with that one, and I think that we're actually going to see them fix a little bit of that with Ghostbusters Afterlife. So I'm very curious about that. I mean, it sucks that we have to wait till next year now, but understandable. National Treasure 2 isn't bad, but Ghost Rider 2 is on another level that is super terrible. That is true. Ghost Rider 2 is...
I've never seen Ghost Rider 2.
Please don't. Please don't do it. I watched it for the first time like 2 days ago.
Wait,
or 3 days ago.
Is it better than Amazing Spider-Man 2?
No.
Oh.
No, but it's still not good.
It's not good. At all. And I have to I get to rewatch it again in 2012, and I'm so excited, and I love that I keep doing this to myself.
Maybe I shouldn't be so hard on National Treasure 2. I love this movie so much, and I think that the second one just suffers in so many different ways that just bummed me out. But I'm glad that we sat down to watch this. I'm glad that this ended up being the movie we chose for our like off-brand. Like, we needed a movie, and we just had to do something for Friday night. This was the way to do it.
It's July and April.
Real quick before we sign off, we just got a few things to push out for this week. Of course, you guys can already see we've got Family Game Night coming back tomorrow. Chris, what are you guys playing tomorrow?
Let me actually get up the
Great.
thumbnail.
Fantastic.
Thumbnail. What we're going to be doing, this is live. Give me 1 second. Bada bing, bada boom. We are going to be doing Mario Kart Double Dash. I don't have the thumbnail on me right now, but me and Evan are going to be playing Mario Kart Double Dash, and whoever else is coming on the Family Game Night tomorrow night. So make sure to check that out. Do you want me to just go to my plugs now?
No, give me a second.
Okay, cool.
There's a couple other things before yours.
Okay.
We also have Sunday night. We are going to have the PJ Campbell Show. Will be back at 7:00. I will be with Video Drew, Rachel Silvestrini, Maxwell Haddad, Evan Degraff, and Chris Clark. We are going to talk about the top 10 Broadway musicals. It's going to be a very interesting stream. I'm very excited because we are all coming from very different places in our Broadway love. So I think these lists are going to be very interesting when everything is said and done. And I'm hoping that we get some culture to some people who may not necessarily love Broadway productions or don't pay attention to Broadway productions. We also have a very special PJ Campbell episode on Monday afternoon at 4:20 PST. We are going to be talking the top 10 stoner films of all time with Mark Andraco and Robert Butler III. That is right. RB3 Mark Andraco, Maxwell Haddad, Rachel Silverstream, and myself are going to go over our favorite stoner films. And it is going to be a very good time. We also have Evan Degraff coming back with his next episode of Famous Last Words on Tuesday. He is going to be hanging out with Late to the Party. So come back, see Late to the Party. It is going to be a lot of fun. And I totally skipped Monday night's watch along, and I apologize for that. We're going back to the Disney afternoon, kids. DuckTales, the movie. I'm very excited. Another adventure film for us to look forward to. Look at that Indiana Jones nature that is promising you on that graphic. You guys are going to have a great time with it. All right, Chris, what do you got?
Okay, so there is a change to the schedule. Essentially, suddenly soundtracks will now be Wednesday night and Thursday night. Wednesday night this Wednesday is going to be, and I'm going to load it up right here, the Rocky Horror Picture Show watch along with Tim Franco and company. We're all going to be sitting around watching that great cult classic. And the night after, me, Bibbs, and Whitney are going to be coming into Suddenly Soundtracks, the world premiere of the return of the fully produced version of the show. It's over 2 hours long, so be sure to check that out. And the following week, the winning movie from the Disney Top 5 soundtracks is Mary Poppins, so we're going to be doing the respective soundtrack and episode with Rachel Silverstream and Evan Degraff. It's going to be a fun hoot.
Awesome. And then we have one last thing for this week, and that is the first episode of Something Rotten. We are going to be doing Tommy Boy. Frank, Janisch, and I are going to sit down and talk about this is my favorite comedy of all time. So I'm very excited to talk about it. It got pushed up because of the sudden passing of Brian Dennehy. We decided this was going to be the first film we were going to do out the gate. Felt fitting with it also being the 25th anniversary of the film, movie I love very, very much. So I'm very excited to sit down and talk about that. Chris, did you get rid of the Young Guns graphic also?
You know what? I did because I'm a horrible, horrible, horrible human being.
Also Friday, we are going to be having Mark Ellis on Young Guns 2. It has been basically a year and a half in the making of a joke. Pat Hogue, are you excited about Young Guns 2 with Mark Ellis?
PJ, I could not be more excited to put this to rest and never have it brought up ever again because, I need to stop being harassed. It's a movie, kids, and I'm certain it's a good movie, and I'm certain I'll appreciate it. I love me a good William Peterson, Kiefer Sutherland, Emilio Estevez, but you know who I love more? Mark Ellis. And to be able to share this illustrious moment in the career of our podcast and our show will be an honor, PJ. And I can't wait for people to get off my back.
I know how excited you are about that. And yes, to Star Drew's point in the chat, tomorrow I will be talking Robert Downey Jr.'s top 10 films over at Take 3 before Family Game Night. I am very excited about that, so you can check me out there as well. We just got a lot of stuff going on, so I hope you guys continue to support us every night at 7 o'clock on the PJ Campbell Network. We are doing all sorts of things, and we hope that you guys will continue to be here. Oh, I'm sorry, Tim Sim apparently misses Evan, and I'm sorry he decided to cop out on us. He said his internet sucked, so not a lot I can do about it. Kristen Smith says it's okay, Hope. She has not seen Young Guns 2 either.
Yeah, I'm sorry for the mobs coming after you now, because they're horrible.
Don't worry, I've never seen it either.
So with that, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. Jacob, where can everyone find you online?
You guys can find me at Jacob Blunden on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You guys can also find us over at the Finally Tailored YouTube channel. Make sure you are checking us out next Saturday at 4 p.m. PST, 7 p.m. EST, where we will be going over doing our movie bracket for
We will be doing our second episode of Get In Losers. We're doing movie brackets, and I'm very excited about this one.
The bracket for this will be 32 non-MCU Marvel films. Both PJ and Pat will be joining us along with Evan and Late to the Party. So we're very excited for that one next Saturday.
It's going to be a bloodbath.
Won't be contentious at all.
Ugly.
You guys thought the Disney one was bad. This one's going to get bad.
This one's going to get ugly.
It's going to be real bad. I can't wait for that, though. It's going to be a lot of fun, hopefully, but also friendships will be over by the time it is over. So with that, Chris Clark, where can the kids find you?
You can find me deleting overlays On Twitter and Instagram at ChrisClark8788. Those numbers mean nothing. And every Wednesday and Thursday, Suddenly Soundtracks, the show where we judge a movie solely based on the soundtrack that it provides, and movie watch-alongs for musicals that are the corresponding episode. Bada bing, bada boom.
One thing I will say, we've been talking about it a little bit off mic, and we have everything kind of scheduled out, but I'm very excited for June because June is like Broadway month for Suddenly Soundtracks.
Yep.
And there is some great guests lined up. I don't want to really step on that right now. And there's some great shows that have been picked too. And I'm very, very excited for that. So I look forward to that. With that, Pat Hogue, where can the kids find you?
Find me on Instagram at Pat the Canadian. That's kind of my main social media hub. You can go to my Twitter at Hogue_filmmaker, where I don't retweet things and I don't really tweet things out, much to PJ's dismay. You can check me out on Vimeo. I'm a filmmaker. That's where most of my stuff is. Patrick Hogue, you'll find me. And also check out my newest short film, So. It's on Crypt TV. They just released their newest big short film starring Cal Penn. So they're getting a lot of notoriety, or not notoriety, but notability for that. And go check out my short film, So, on there. Go comment, spread the word that I'm the one who did that. Give me more jobs.
Awesome. And Taylor, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Finally Tailored, Instagram _Finally Tailored because someone took the other one, which is awesome. Like Jacob said, at Finally Tailored YouTube channel. You can find me on Facebook. You can pretty much find me anywhere, honestly, if you just search Finally Tailored.
But please don't stalk her, is all I ask. We like Taylor. Please don't stalk her. Just be nice. Be normal, internet. Just once, I promise. If you could just be nice and normal, that would be great. You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at PJ_Campbell. And find me here every night doing content with these fine people here at the PJ Campbell Network. If you're in the quarantine and you haven't done a whole lot and you need something to watch, go check out the Movie Trivia Schmodown. I'm the head writer over there with a bunch of other really great writers. Thank you guys for tuning in for our National Treasure watch along, and we'll see you tomorrow at Family Game Night. Have a great night, everyone.